Hey guys, what's up? We're here with Greg Krellin, pro
Shit,
soaper,
sorry, dude.
all the way from Melbourne, Australia. How you been, bud?
Not bad yourself.
I'm good, man. I'm out here in Vegas, just doing it right now. So I have
Same
a.
here out this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, same here out here. I got the whole crew been soaping up lately, so been hitting it hard.
I've seen a couple of your videos that you posted, man. That looks like you guys have a good little scene going down there. Probably
Yeah,
like the biggest soaping scene right now globally that I've seen.
we've got a crew of about 6 or 7 of us, I believe. We've all got soap shoes. I hooked all my mates up with a stockpile that I found at one of the old inline skate shops. They had a whole stockpile in the attic, and I bought up most of them, and I just sold them on to my mates so we could get a lot more people into it.
Wow, wow. How did you figure this stuff out originally? Like, how did you find soap?
Well, back in 97, 98, I believe it was, when soap first came out, I was living in Tasmania, which is a little island that's part of Australia, and my brother used to have a few pairs, and he was always soaping around on them, and it always stuck in my head what they were. And then I was in year 8 in high school at the age of 14, and a friend in gym class goes, "Oh, Greg, you love the 90s and everything about it. You know what soap shoes are?" I said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, man, I know what they are." He starts doing some backsides on the little park benches inside the gym until he got in trouble with a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
who then proceeded to ask me if I knew what he was talking about because he didn't know what soaping was. And my mate was claiming he was a soaper until I confirmed exactly what it was and got my mate off the hook.
Okay.
So, and then I was trying to look for a pair but could never afford them. They were still pretty available back then, as around 2004, I think. But could never afford a pair, because we always done it a bit tough with money. But by the time I left high school and started working, I remembered again what they were, and well, I guess they never really left me. So I started hunting down and just buying up as many pairs as I could.
So here it is now, 3 years later, and I know we've been Snapchatting, and you sent me some pictures of a bunch of shoe boxes in your closet. Like, how many pairs of soaps do you own now?
Including other brands like Heelys, Rollerblade, and Solomon's, I currently have 16 and a half pairs.
Half pair? What, you got to explain that one.
Okay, when I bought that stockpile I was talking about previously, one of the boxes, the one I was going to keep for myself, only had one shoe in it.
Oh, that's fucked up. So you got gypped right there, huh?
Not really, because I only paid $300 for all 10 boxes and sold 9 boxes for $150 each.
Well, so you're slanging soaps now too.
Slinging soaps. Made a few dollars. Took me some other soaps. So I've got some pretty good ones in my collection now.
Oh, wow. On the streets, our little soap shoe forum, solidgrind.com, I heard they'd be calling you the collector.
Yes, that's just one of the things they've been calling me, the collector, or like, fuck you, you arsehole, for stealing all the soaps.
Okay.
Just jokingly, though. I think they're just a bit jealous of some of the shoes that I have.
Right. So, I've seen some of these pairs. I know this, and I thank you for my Christmas present here. I guess you sent me those ordnaments that I'm using on this video now, $600 shoes, and that's amazing. That's a crazy find that they're 15 years old and they're vintage, but they're still like mint condition, except until I wore in a groove now. But that was a necessity. But I guess some other shoes have been going for up to $1,200 plus now.
Yeah, some of them are becoming really rare, like the broadsides. That's the soap everyone seems to be after, for the fact that it has the sole plate, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a pair on the way to my house at the moment. I hunted down a pair and scored them, so they weren't cheap, I can tell you that, but I got them cheaper than anyone else probably would. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people still ask, what kind of websites can we find these on? They talk about eBay, they talk about rock.com, and that kid, one of the guys in Holland, this kid Phil, the soap community knows him as Waffle. but he sent me a Bezos site, and apparently, I guess that's not even active or something.
Yeah, so right before I started talking to Phil, or Incinerated Waffle as he calls himself, don't know why, but right before I started talking to him, I actually found this site that you were just talking about, and thought I found the jackpot. They had every model of the Bizos listed, and I was going to buy them all up, but then I'd done some closer looking and translating, because the page is in Dutch, so I had to translate all the words. It turns out the site hasn't been active since 2010, so about 5 years. So the bets on trying to order some of them shoes is probably just off the table.
Okay, I get you. Now, I noticed there's some other sites, like the Solid Grind. Apparently, it's run by, I guess, former pro soaper Derek Brooks, who I guess was sponsored by Soap. I think he was part of the third team. I'm not sure, but I noticed that it looks like that website has not been updated since 2008, but apparently there's still a following on it.
There's still a very, very huge following. I always looked at Solid Grind, over the years, never created an account for it to comment, and I finally did a few years back. And there still is a following. Most of the admins, like you said, haven't been on or updated it, except recently, Lewis, one of the admins, updated a post just to let everyone know of the passing of a fellow soaper, Travis Sloboda. He tragically lost his life, so that was the most recent update.
Okay.
I personally have tried to contact Derek Brooks. He did accept my friend request on Facebook, but very hard person to get a hold of. If there's any way someone who's more active with the site could possibly become an admin to update photos and all that, because it is still, it's not as big as it used to be back in the day when you guys first started out, but there's still a huge following, and it'd be good to get some new videos up and update the pictures, as I personally found pictures of the Bizzo shoes and some of the other shoes that they didn't previously have photos for in the description page. So it'd be good to be able to update the site a bit. But like I said, the owners of the site are very hard to contact at the moment.
I agree. I was able to get a hold of him once. He gave me permission to use a bunch of the photos from the site for the book, but I haven't talked to him since, and that was about 18 or so months ago. And it would be really awesome if someone could update that site, so then we could see some of the new stuff. Now, I've been doing the soap thing since 1997, and here it is 2015, and just this week, a kid in Connecticut was sending me a bunch of videos of him front-siding, and I get this stuff all the time on my phone. People, now that there's iPhone and they can send me videos instead of, back in the day it was AOL online, and, they'd have to send me MPEG videos through Yahoo Mail. But now people just text stuff to my phone. A couple weeks ago, someone from Reno, Nevada just started sending me videos of them soaping in their garage, and then the cops came and they FaceTimed me and showed me the neighbors were complaining that they were making noises. Crazy. And I'm just like, there's still a community out here, and there's mad love, there's shit going on, and I'm just surprised that everyone hasn't really got together and blew this whole thing back up. And I know this, I think you know more about the politics of the industry, where I don't know the name of the new company that bought out Heelys and Soap Shoes, but apparently they've been sitting on it for years and they just won't release it, or you guys can't get a response from them?
Well, Travis, our friend who passed away tragically, he was the one who was most active in it. He'd been in contact with Sequential Brands Group, that is the company that owns Healing Sport Limited and also Soap Shoes. He'd been speaking to them through emails and phone, and they'd actually told us that they were going to be releasing some new models this summer that had just gone past, the American summer.
Okay.
But it turns out they were lying to us, and they just weren't going to release any. They just said it to get us off their back.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why they're not investing money into it, though, because there is still a huge following, not as big as it would be, but there's still every time I go out with my soap shoes on with my crew, we have these kids coming up, you know, oh, where can I get them? What site can I buy them from? You know, I have to get a pair of them.
Exactly.
And then, you know, got people who used to do it going, dude, I haven't seen soap shoes in fucking years, you know, can you hook me up? You know, I'm like, yeah, maybe, you know, what size are you? I'll see what I can do. You know, here's my contact information. And that's just here in one town, like, you know, in Australia, just the city of Melbourne, like, you go around hitting it, you know, and there's just as much hate as there is love for the sport still, you know, but I just let that roll off my back like water, you know, it's no big deal to me.
Yeah,
you want to skate,
it's one of those things that's like you either love it or you hate it. I still get the same crazy reactions, and just like you said, and here I am in Las Vegas, just like you're in a small town in Australia. I was out at the skate park the other day, just soaping on a little ground rail, and some kids, 9, maybe 12, 13 years old, they come up and they're like, they didn't even have a clue what these things were. They thought I was practicing skateboarding for later when I had a skateboard. And I'm like, nah, kid, these are soap shoes. And I started explaining them. He's like, those are badass. Where do they sell those? Like Hot Topic or something? And I was like, kid, they went out of business before you were even born. Like, you can't even buy these. And he's like, oh, man, I would buy those right now. And, you know, especially here in Vegas when, you know, the kids, they don't have a lot of stuff to do since it's a 21 and over town. Like, they've got curfew. They can't really get out. The only place kids can really hang out is things like skate parks and stuff. And I got to say, skate parks have really changed. You know, when I was younger in the 90s, it was just rollerbladers and skateboarders. And now you see the majority of skate parks out here filled with Razor scooter riders, you know, and they're doing, they're going up and down the half pipe. They're doing little tail flips, and, you know, it's changed. And I don't know, what do you think about that?
But personally, I'm not a fan of scooters. I got some friends that ride scooters. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's some pretty cool shit being done on it. But personally, they're not for me. I just see it as a hybrid sport. You know, you got handlebars and grip tape. I mean, you know, peak BMX or skateboard, you know, not both. But it's mainly due to the fact every time I hit a skate park, it would just be crowded with scooter kids who haven't been taught proper skate park etiquette. Okay. So they're in your way, they're cutting you off, and you're just trying not to hurt them, you know. We had this skate park built here called The Shed. Had a multi-million-dollar makeover, big indoor skate park, like pretty much a professional skate park, big vert ramp, a bowl, street course, all skate park. Parents use it as like a daycare center. They drop off their kids with their scooters, and the kids haven't been taught etiquette. And, you know, in this day and age, you know, you got all these 12-year-olds running around thinking they're the badass gangsters, you know, and so they're trying to start you, trying to hit you with the scooters. And all I'm trying to do with my mates is just skate and have a good time, you know, like how it used to be. But like I said, I've got some friends that ride scooters, and I don't always have a problem with it, just when, you know, they get in your way and then have an attitude about it because you avoided hitting them, and you're like, you know, just look where you are, mate, you know, stay safe. And so it's kind of like an infestation at the moment that, you know, who knows what's going to happen. But like I said, there's some cool stuff being done on them, and I don't overly hate them. It's just, you know, it's not like how skateboarders hate bladers, you know, because that's still a big issue.
Man, there was some crazy drama back in the day, you know. It was almost like gang wars, really, like rollerbladers versus skateboarders. And I always thought it was kind of funny because people from outside the community, you know, they just think like, well, you guys all skate, like, why don't you guys all get along? And like, they don't really know the politics. And, you know, for me, I kind of noticed one of the biggest things was, you know, the way that rollerbladers wax a curb, where we just wax the corner and then like maybe an inch or two on either side, you know, so we can hit our soul grinds. And then skateboarders will like wax way up in the top of the curb so that they can hit their tail slides. But then when there's so much wax, the rollerbladers just jump on the curb and slip out. And then, you know, then we got to use steel wool and get the wax off to get it good for us. And then they get pissed off. And back in the day, there was so much beef. Like one time, we were just at the park skating, and these dudes brought a red metal bat, bro, and almost like took it to the back of my friend's head. And we got in a big fist fight, and I knocked this dude out. I had my Harbinger wrist guards, and I palm struck him, and he ended up getting like 7 stitches in his forehead, and then there was some retaliation shit. The cops came, and it was pretty intense back in the day.
Well, it's actually the opposite out this way. The skateboarders get pissed when we wax.
Oh, really?
It's the opposite down here, man. That shed skate park I was talking about, when that first opened, you were allowed to wax the copings.
Okay.
Until, I don't know how true this story is, but Renton Miller, who's a pro skateboarder down this way, he slipped on the coping because of the wax and busted his wrist. And because of that, they banned waxing from this skate park.
Oh,
so, like, we could fairly grind, you know, and then me and my mates ended up actually getting banned from that skate park. So it was pretty funny. Yeah. But like the dude who ran it, the manager, did not like rollerbladers. So it was a personal thing for him, and he's looking for any excuse to ban us. And yeah, when his new staff that he hired didn't like us and they accused us of destroying one of their cars, that was, you know, enough reason for him to ban us. So I snuck back in there for the week.
That's really crazy, man. It's interesting, like how people take sides on that shit. Where do you feel that soaping fits into all this?
Soaping's still the underdog altogether, because I've seen comments on my videos and your videos. You know, you got the skateboarders going, "Oh, fucking soaping's is fruit booting," you know, and then you got the roller going, "Oh, it's fucking gay. Why don't you just get roller?" You got people like me going, "Fuck, man, you want to blade, you want to soap? It's all fun. Like, why is there beef?" I ride soaps, I ride a skateboard, BMX, I've even dropped in at a skate park on a fucking unicycle. So I personally don't get why there's so much hate.
Oh, wow.
I'm like Switzerland, I'm on the fence, I'm neutral.
Hold on, you gotta rewind that for a second. Did you say you dropped in a half pipe on a unicycle, or you just were at the park?
What? Yes, on a unicycle.
You dropped in on a unicycle?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It took me about 35 shots before I landed it, but I landed it and then pulled off a pedal slide.
Oh, wow. That's intense. Yeah. I know you've been doing some crazy shit like that. Don't you have a new DVD coming out soon, like Adrenaline Monkeys?
Yeah, well, our crew down here, we named it the Adrenaline Monkeys just because we couldn't really find anything better to call ourselves. We've been gathering footage over the last year, and it's still a fair way off, but we're going to be releasing a DVD that's kind of like, it showcases everything that we do, that we love in life, you know, whether it be soaping, inline, or BMX, or motocross riding, or forward driving, or when we're camping.
Okay.
We do everything. We're even going for our skydiving licenses as soon as we get the cash. And we do anything that normal people in society just call extreme or stupid. So,
okay.
Yeah, we work our asses off during the week, and then the weekend we just, run amok.
Ooh, that's what's up. I like it. Man, do you guys have a website out for that yet?
No website. There is a YouTube page, which doesn't really have much on it. It's called Adrenaline Monkeys. Not the one in England that has these kids doing some crappy parkour. This is the Australian one, the proper Adrenaline Monkeys. So.
You just said the magic word. I've been doing parkour stuff since I was like a little kid, before it was even called parkour. I remember like my teachers thought that I couldn't be normal because, you know, during recess there was like an exercise yard in the playground, and you could do sit-ups and stuff, and me, I was like pretending that I was playing Zelda or something, and I would like jump on the sit-up thing, and then I would jump over and do like a crawl across the, what do you call those things that you...
Monkey bars?
Monkey bars, but I'd have to like go on top and walk, and then I'd jump off and do like a 360 before I even knew it was a 360, and they were like, "That's not how you use that," and I was like, "Well, that's how I want to use it." Like, I said, "Why do I just want to like crawl across like this like everyone else? I want to crawl on top of it and take it to a whole new level." And they're like, I would keep getting like, you know, timeout or whatever, because this was like first grade or whatever. But I mean, I've always tried to use some of that in my soaps, and people would tell me like, "That's not soaping. You have to be grinding to be soaping." And I was like, for me, I always see it as like a free-form sport that shouldn't have rules but rather guidelines. Kind of like, okay, I've got plates, I can grind, but what if I feel like jumping off these stairs and doing a misty flip? What if I feel like backflipping off of this ledge after I grind or something? So I've been really trying to push adding in parkour elements and other elements of freestyle walking into that. Do you think that that has place in the sport?
I believe it does. You know, soap shoes, you know, ultimately came out around the same time as the freestyle walking movement. You know, soaping isn't just grinding. Because sometimes you don't always land the grinds, as you know, you hit the rubber and fuck up, so you got to make yourself look cool, trying to recover from that. But as you said, the freestyle walking or parkour side of it, I believe, has a big place in it. You know, hence why some of the slogans Soap even had when they were out, like, soap shoes, play with yourself, or the street is your playground.
Right.
You know, it's not just grinding. If it was just about grinding, it would be like soap shoes, as the slogan was, shoes for the daily grind, or grind this or something. You know, it's about expressing yourself through the way you move. Everyone who's just, a full conformist, just working to work, going to work, making money, not doing any fun, I go to work, I earn my money to live on the weekends, and I express myself through the way I move. I won't just walk down the street normally because I'll have my soap shoes, so I'll be busting out a drag queen or, a Royale down a rail or something, getting told off by the cops, and then just moving crazy because I fucking can. So I believe it has, the freestyle walking side of it has a huge part in soap shoes. It's not just the grinding.
I love the way that you're saying that. Express yourself in the way that you move. That's profound, Greg. That's awesome. Can you go a little deeper into that?
How you mean?
Well, the way that you're saying that, like, as if you're kind of talking about maybe yourself, your inner self, expressing it basically in the outer world. People kind of get to see, like, the inner you, and that makes a lot of sense. I've always been into martial arts and stuff, and where I'm trying to take soaping myself is going into more urban obstacles, getting onto, like, a factory roof, or, like, climbing up the fire escape at the outside of the Albertsons supermarket, and then grinding on the little conduit things that carry the electricity, the copper wiring and stuff. And
it's funny that you mentioned that, because we've got footage of me at one of the local primary schools on a roof grinding the conduit.
Oh, wow.
On one of the school roofs. So yeah, that's the type of stuff we do.
Nice.
When I was saying about you express yourself through the way you move. Like, we do that over here, we call it roof-topping. Where you go up and you're climbing on top of roofs and stuff and all that. And it's not just about where you're going or how you're doing it. It's, the way you act, like I said, expressing yourself. I'll wear all these crazy, scary masks by doing all this stuff while rocking Senate jeans or 26 red jeans and Fat Farm clothes, anything that's 90s, I'm always rocking. People are like, oh, he's got raver pants on, and I'm like, no, I've got skating pants on.
They call it raver pants. Oh man.
Well, over here, all the ravers have the big baggy pants with like reflective shit on it. Right. And I'm like, no, this is road jeans, man. This is aggressive inline shit. It's not rave. Don't ever call me a raver because I don't rave.
Okay.
I listen to hip hop and punk rock.
Oh wow. That's crazy. And did they even know what inline was?
Some people go, what do you mean? I'm like, aggressive rollerblader. Oh, you roller skate? No, I rollerblade. There's a difference. the wheels are in a line, so inline, blade, The skates are the fucking quad things, which I don't do either.
Okay. Wow, that's freaking crazy. Man. Where would you see the future of this sport going?
Where do I see it going, or where do I hope to see it going?
Hope sounds better.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see it make a comeback how it was. I see the potential in it. We just got to try and get through to the company that currently owns it, because they're just not listening. They're just not aware. Like me personally, I'm aware of where it can go with the potential. Like I said, when I found that stockpile, I sold shoes to people in Israel, America, like New Zealand. Like, I was sending shoes all over the show because I had found some bigger sizes that people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I hope to see it make a full comeback because the potential is there.
That's one
And
of
it's
those
like
weird things too, is because when I go on eBay and I try to look for shoes, I very seldom find size 11s and 12s, but sometimes I'll find like bigger sizes or a lot of smaller sizes, which means that all the people, adults, size 10, 11, 12, that's obviously been the biggest selling shoe because those are the ones that are gone. Meaning people,
yeah.
15 to between 15 and probably 40 are still soaping. Myself, I'm going to be 35 in 3 weeks. I still get out there and grind. A couple of friends of mine, coast to coast, that are in their mid 30s and early 40s, are still down to soap. Some of them want to soap, they just can't find any in their size. If they were readily available for a normal price of whatever, $79.99 at the Journey store or Pacific Sunwear, like it was, I could see these people going out and buying a pair and still going out, not necessarily doing it all the time, like 18 hours a day like we used to when we were, younger. As people get older, they work, whatever. But it would be kind of cool if they were out again so that we could go session and just have a good time. Sometimes back in the day, like even the other night, actually, I was out with this dude. He just moved here to Vegas, and I went to high school with him. So we were kicking it, kind of catching up. And he's like, "Man, you're still skating. You're still doing that shit, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So we were at the bar having a beer, and we just stepped out, like, have a cigarette. And then I just started grinding on the curb. I grinded on the bumper of some dude's fucking old Chevy. And he was like, "Oh, shit, like, you still be doing that?" Like, he's like, "I wish I had a pair of those, man."
It's the way, though. Like you said, a lot of the bigger sizes, they get to come by. And then what you also got to watch out for is just like the arseholes that are trying to rip people off, like on eBay.
Uh-huh.
One dude had a second-hand, heavily used pair of cleans.
Okay.
He was asking $500 for them, super rare, old school. And I'm thinking, cleans are the most common soap shoe that is freaking out there. Second is scabs. $500 for a second-hand pair. I was getting new in-box pairs for freaking like $60, like just last year. And then you got people that are, like you mentioned earlier, Rourke and stuff still had some in the smaller sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Real cheap. They were going for like, I don't know, $30 Australian, I think.
Okay.
So you got these people buying them and then instantly putting them back up on eBay, claiming they've had them since college and just never used them.
Okay.
And they ask ridiculous prices. And you can tell where they've got them from, but they use the same picture of the website where they brought it from. And I've called a few people out, and some people are like, yeah, you got me. And then one dude just like full on kept the lie up. He's like, I've had them since college. What would you know? I'm like, well, considering I'm one of the biggest collectors of soaps in the world, I know a fucking lot. He's trying to tell me how rare they are. I'm like, I've got 20 pairs sitting in my wardrobe. Well, not wardrobe, but warehouse that I have access to. So
Oh, wow.
I know the value of each soap and what they go for and the rarity of them. He's trying to tell me they're rare. I'll show him a rare pair. I've got an unreleased pair of Ninjas sitting right here. I've never released one other pair in existence, and I've got one of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
We got a few minutes left. Would you be able to show off some of those pairs?
Yeah, I've got the Ninjas sitting right here if you'd like to see them.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out.
Still in the bag.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. These are the Soap Ninjas. They're released.
Oh, wow. Those are fresh, bro.
Yeah, quite fresh.
Now, how much would a pair of those go for?
I got these for a steal, like, stupidly cheap. Like, I would personally value these because of the rarity, for a hardcore collector like me, probably $500 to $600 I would sell them for, maybe. You know, that would be the bottom price.
Bottom 90, top 500 to 600?
No, bottom price would, for me to sell them, would be around 500 to 600.
Oh, bottom 500 to 600. So
yeah, I mean, just
in that
I've seen one other pair of them. You know, so there's 2 knows in existence at the moment.
Okay.
So they came with the slow row plate too.
Oh, the other kind of plate. Okay.
Sick. Yeah. That's, you know, just that's the rarest pair I have at the moment of soap shoes until I get my broadsides, because I've got a pair of them coming. I've got sitting here a pair of the second issue release of the Scabs. The other ones that are, when they were redone, they had soapshoe.com stitched into the tongue.
Oh, I see.
If you can see it. Kind of a bit hard to see, I think. Just under the soap, that's soapshoe.com.
Okay.
These are the second run of the Scabs. It's said on Solid Grind there's a slight difference with the material or something. I'm not sure what that was, but these also in the second run came with the Slow Bros. So and apparently this is one of the rarer colours of Scabs too, the black and grey. So these actually belong to Travis Slaughter, the sober who passed away. His family actually sent these to me because I was such a good friend of his and stuff, and they wanted me to have a few of his things to remember him by. So
wow.
That was pretty nice of him. I've got a few other things of his too, which I'm going to put in a display piece. I got my collection up and running.
Okay.
But as I said, those Ninjas were the rarest soaps I've got at the moment. I do currently have a pair of sample Solomon X Factors, which were the second run of the Solomon shoes. First were the Mr. Wilsons and the X Factors. So I don't think the X Factors did too well and they didn't make many. So I've actually got a box of them sitting here up in collection. Too hard to get out at the moment, but I've got a couple of pairs of Cleans, a couple of pairs of Scabs now, some Cylons, which unfortunately I can't use because they'll fall apart like my first pair did. Same with the Goers. I've got some Goers. I love the Goer Chernobyls. They're one of my favourite soaps, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't rock because the material they use will just fall apart. It just breaks. It's a polyurethane, and unlike the leather and rubber they used in the earlier models, it just doesn't hold up. So,
These
but I've got other shoes.
The Ordnance ones that you got me here is pretty cool because I could feel the difference in the material because it's not like soft rubber in the sole of the shoe like it would have been if they were brand new, 15 years ago. It seems like they've kind of stiffened up, but what I've noticed is they work perfect. I put a groove in them. I'm already, I was doing some freestyle backslides down this one rail the other day. Smooth as fuck, man. And they seem to be holding up perfect. A person like me, like I said before, like when I do those big jumps, I like to keep, 2 extra pairs of padding in the shoes. I used like the Dr. Scholl's gel, and then I use like an instep. I have like 3 layers of padding in this so that I can jump 8, 10, 12 stairs, hit a big mute over a gap or whatever, and the impact is going to be smooth. But these are holding up great, so like you said, it is interesting that some of the shoes won't stand the test of time, and others seem to still be working perfect.
Yeah, I used to think anything that had a similar, that was like the second generation of soaps, the lighter ones, like the Scabs, MB, Tanks and Cleans were like the first generations, and how they were super heavy, and then they started making like Prabas, Goers and all that, and they were a lot lighter because of the material they used.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think all of them would fall apart, but I've come to realise through experience, like the Ordnance, they seem to hold up well, so do the Prabas and stuff like that. But it's mainly the Goers, the Cylons, I think maybe Squeaky Cleans and I forgot the name of the other one. It's like Goa, but I forgot its name. But they're the ones that seem to break really easy just because of the material they use. It's just too soft and it just falls apart.
Right.
So but if people want some light soaps, like go a set of Pravas or Ordnance. They're the ones I recommend the most because they'll hold up as well as the scabs and cleans, if not better.
Right, and those are all the ones that you can really perform the best on. Some of the other ones, like the I think the Squeaky Cleans, or the Bolt Tars, and the Cylons even, their plastic or the rubber on the outside was a lot slicker. It was harder, at least what I noticed, to be able to like hold backslides. I could do them, but they would work better on ledges than handrails. Unlike the Cleans or the Ordnance, which would their rubber was a little different. I was able to, it was almost like a braking system. The grind plate would allow me to slide, but the metal would slow it down enough so that I could hold the balance, sometimes indefinitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so as I was saying before, though, I do have to see soap shoes come back. That'd be, the ultimate, hope for the company and the sport, because I do believe it is a sport because anyone can grab a pair and slide on ledges, but it takes some balls to be hitting rails and double kinked rails and all that. So, but if they do come back, I'll definitely be collecting all the advertising gear and promo stuff. So that shit's hard to find. I've only got a few pieces, but a few pieces I've had made for me. But I've got one of these original soap rubber ducks.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Got the soap logo, a couple of piercings.
Damn, that is a
and
very
the
rare piece.
So that cost me around $50 shipped from the UK. I had to beg this guy for 6 months to sell it to me. Okay. His girlfriend wasn't happy.
You did it though. You're a hustler. That's good.
I did have a few more that I was going to purchase, as well as like a soap, like advertising vinyl banner. Travis, who unfortunately passed away, I was lining up. He was going to sell me all his stuff because he was just packing it in. He didn't want anything to do with it so much. He had a shitload of stuff, and but unfortunately, like I said, he tragically passed away last year. Mm-hmm. I made this tribute video for him, which is available to view on YouTube because he's such a good friend, even though we never met in person. So my best wishes go out to his family and all that, and I thank them for sending me a couple of pairs of his shoes, which I like I stated previously, will be on the centerpiece of my collection when I finally get it displayed. So, but yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff just floating around the back of skate shops, like posters and flags and stuff that I'm trying to get my hands on any of it because I live, breathe, and eat soap. So,
ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
There's a video on our John Monkey's page, just a raw clip of we're out soaping, and I opened a fresh candle, and my mate Daniel, or Fat Baby Bejeebus as he's known, he looks at me and he's with the camera and he goes, "Don't eat it." So I do what I'm told not to do. So I just took a big chunk out of this candle and just casually walk up to the camera, and I'm like, a soaper's diet must consist of anything that helps them perform better. Wax helps us perform better, so now it's in my diet. Yeah, we just do some real raw shit like that down here. So
you guys are crazy out in the outback doing it.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. We're looking forward to getting more footage and making this movie. It's still a long way off, unfortunately, like I said, because most of us are broke, even though we work our asses off. So, mm-hmm. But we're all getting there. We're all slowly starting to get cameras and the proper editing software and all that. And it's just going to be a big mixed bowl of everything. Like I said, soaping, skating, just our random drink ups at someone's house or a party. We're going to hopefully have footage from my 25th that's coming up. I'm having a jumping castle and a soap rail set up, and yes, we're going to have all this raw, like, random footage, kind of like the old school Crusty Demons movies, just guns, chicks, everything, just anything that would make you sit there and go, fuck, I wish I could do that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, Greg, we're running out of time here, but if the guys at home wanted to get a hold of you, What would be the best way that they could do that?
What do you mean at home? Like,
For
who's
the
viewing this? You can just hit me up on Facebook. It's just Greg Cullen. You'll work out which profile is me. If you go through the pictures, you'll see soap shoes or just random weird pictures. Either that or my email, greg-250@hotmail.com, or my YouTube channel, which is Greg Cullen1. Or the Adrenaline Monkeys YouTube channel. Just send a message to that. I will be creating an Adrenaline Monkeys page on Facebook, but currently the main page affiliated with all the stuff we do is the Melbourne Soapers. That's a group on Facebook. So if anyone needs to hit me up, who's looking for shoes, just send a message to that, request to join it, and then, or like I said, a message to my Facebook. I'll find out what size you are, and I'll see if I can hook you up, let you know where to get them, let you know what plates are available and all that. So just any one of them, just hit me up. And if you're in Australia, I live in Melbourne, so if you're out this way, just mess me in. I can meet you at one of the skate parks or whatnot. But, they're probably just the easiest ways to get a hold of me.
Awesome, bro. Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Cullen.
No worries. Peace out.
Hey guys, Ron Jaunzemis here. Tonight on the show, this month we got a very special guest. You guys might know him, Joey Barbera from Los Angeles, California. You guys probably know him as the Soul Master.
Thank you.
How you doing tonight, bro?
Mr. Broadside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing great, Ryan, and yourself?
I'm good, bro. Just out here still grinding, getting down.
Awesome.
Kind of getting the guys together and getting out there sessioning a little bit.
Nice. Well, I think we need to form a reunion.
I love it. That'd be great. The beer's in the fridge, so.
Okay.
So, my question for you, when I first heard about you, Brendan was like, "Hey, have you heard of this new guy, Joey Barbera? Like, he just got signed." And this was later. Like, I think he got signed around this time when Sandy and EJ got on the team, and I had not even known that Broadsides had come out yet. And Brendan starts telling me, he's like, "Yeah, he's going to be the first guy testing Broadsides, and he's already busting alley-oop fish brains and alley-oop machios." And we're like, "Oh shit!" And I think I remember the first time that we sessioned together was me, you, Brendan, and Sandy, and we were soaping at Redondo Beach High School, the Seahawks. Yeah. And like right off the bat, you were busting out alley-oop machios. I think you kind grinded that 17 step in the back. I think that's in your section in 2, right?
Yeah, that was a long rail.
Man, that was sick. Like
it's kind of steep too.
Yeah. How did you first hear about soap?
How did I hear about soap shoes? I mean, coming from, aggressive skating, with Chris Morris being, former rider for Rollerblade, it's a small community, so you know every new product, you know, that's just about to hit the market or already in the marketplace.
So you were already into doing inline before you heard of soap, and
Correct.
you kind of just heard about this through the grapevine?
Yeah. And then, you know, they, with you guys promoting it grassroots, I had to check it out and be a part of it.
Now, were you able to just, like, basically I hadn't heard about you and they were just like, yeah, he's already on the team and busting out. Did you have a pair beforehand, or this just came natural to you?
It just came natural.
That's some pimp shit.
Thank goodness for skating.
Yeah. How long were you doing aggressive skating before you were on the soap team?
I've been aggressive skating since I was about 8, 9 years old. So, yeah. And soap was around, 14 years old, 15.
Oh, wow. So you had quite a bit of experience beforehand.
Yeah. Handrails were my specialty.
I seen you bust some crazy shit.
So,
Can you take me back on your journey, like when you first heard about it and how you kind of transitioned from skating into soaping?
literally there was I guess there was a small window of a learning curve, just making sure that you hit, the center of the shoe and with the grind plate. Other than that, just finding the right shoes. We had so many different variations of grind plates.
Right.
How going slow, fast, which is what we'll be comfortable with. Gotta get in your own groove. No pun intended.
Right. I feel that.
And nothing. Really, there was no learning curve for me.
So you were able to just get out there. So you would probably say, like, if someone had experience in skating, they'd be able to put them on. I'll get a lot of questions from kids all over the globe, and they'll still say, like, how do you do those one-footed grinds, or how did you do sole grinds? And they've never even heard of broadsides. And it's kind of interesting because they'll, I'll show them your video, your section, and too, like you're pretty much known worldwide for that. I think I only had one pair of broadsides, and they were much later because I was more focused on, I liked more like the unity tricks and jumping kind of stuff. So, like you were an inspiration when I would see you busting out shit that I hadn't even tried. Like you were busting out before I'd ever put on a pair of broadsides. So that was really badass to see, Now, you said you got into this at 8 years old. Can you take us back in time to yourself? You're 8 years old and you're first discovering inline skating.
So, let's just start with the history.
oh, yeah.
Before that, it was all, it was my mom who actually got me inspired of skating. So I first learned to ice skate when I was 4 years old.
Really?
So had the bug since then.
Do you figure or hockey?
Just recreational.
Right on.
And then grew into playing a little hockey, and then going into inline street hockey.
Okay.
And then I got bored. So just seeing old skate videos, Mad Beef and others.
Oh, wow.
Arlo Eisenberg and, Chris Edwards and basically the whole rollerblade team. Mm-hmm. And I says, man, I want to do that. So start jumping off 5 stair sets and stair riding forwards and backwards and, started growing from there, going to Torrance High, going to, Redondo High, and just start doing it. You fall down, you get back up, and do it again. So
and those are definitely some of the best skate spots, I'd say, in the South Bay, especially Redondo. I don't know, did you ever get a chance to skate that the famous little 8 or 10 step there? They ended up taking it out, but wow, good memories over there.
It was literally skating and soaping was a brotherhood. It's like friends would be 4 or 5 miles away. You'd hop on a bus or you'd skate there, and you'd skate, and then when you're done, you would throw on your soap shoes and do the same exact thing. So it was a ton of fun. So it was, I don't know, it's all history now.
Well, speaking of that, when we were talking the other day, you had mentioned that that path had led you into your career as an adult now, and you're still in the industry.
I still am. Yes, I am.
Now,
So
I don't know if you're allowed to disclose some of those industry politics. Are you?
I have no idea. Probably not, theoretically. But it's all public knowledge now.
I had heard that you were actually responsible for getting Heelys to buy soap shoes, was it? Or was it the new company?
So we'll just kind of go through so soap was sold to InStride.
InStride, okay.
Right out of Texas, which was a cheerleading company.
How did that get mixed up?
I have no idea. Or at least that's what was in the facility.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Helped them with, marketing, grassroots, still promoting soap shoes after everyone was left and gone. I was still the lone soldier. But even prior to that, kind of rewinding a bit, there was this crazy guy with an idea, Roger Adams, who was the founder of what we know today is Heelys. He had came in and, had a meeting with Chris and said, I want to marry my wheel technology into a soap shoe. So, and that was the future in his mind was, shoes with wheels in them. But yet you can, walk, roll, and then grind.
Okay.
But, in high school, at South High, I was the first kid rolling around in school testing them. So, the principal, no teacher, they can't bust you because they don't know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
Show them it's a wheel. And, it was the coolest freaking thing.
So you were the first one on that the wear testing team for the hybrid Heely soap shoe?
Yeah, before it was called Heelys.
Oh, wow.
The deal never went through. I don't know the reasoning why, but I know that, all of us, Brandon, everybody, we all knew it was going to be the next biggest hit. So going to InStride, I find out that this, guy, Roger Adams, I was like, I know Roger. He was at, Soap. He's like, oh, he formed this company called Heelys. So I reached out to Roger, and he was actually in, Hermosa, Manhattan Beach, just doing some in-store demos. And I met up with him, and he's like, oh, my God, long time. We lost contact with each other. What are you doing now? It's like, well, I'm still with soap shoes with InStride. He's all, well, come on, let's go. You're going to go work for Heelys. So I left.
Opportunity knocks. Wow.
Just same thing. Did, teaching kids how to ride Heelys, all over the world, and just promoting just the exact same thing as we did with soap shoes. In-store demos, how-tos, concerts, you name it.
So were you you were on tour with them then, like doing the trade shows and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did it all. And then, Roger came to me along with the other management, executive management there at Heelys, and says, we want to take the soap shoe technology and marry it into a Heely. So naturally, the best thing for them was to just buy out soap shoes.
Okay.
So that transaction, did go through. It took place, which was fantastic. And then I started helping them, design and explain the whole theory of soap shoes and the grind plate and where it needs to go and how it needs to function. And their design team then ran with it and became the Grail shoe. the Heelys Grail. So it's kind of, it went full circle from soap shoes, trying it out, and then doing it with Heelys. So yeah, it was fun times. And then I always, on the, marketing brand ambassador, that's always what I've done, and I guess grew a passion to, because, that's what I was learning and doing. Become a poster child without even really realizing it at the time. Even you did, but not as we know it today. You're helping create a brand, and especially soap shoes and or Heelys becoming a huge conglomerate company, that they were. So it's great to be on the forefront of those companies and helping them grow and seeing them succeed.
That's great.
And then I, after that path, I helped out another company, definitely not in the inline business or grinding business, but I went into helped another company which I saw the vision to, which was the wave board, street surfing, the two-wheeled big old skateboard. You would you didn't see it?
I didn't see that one.
What? It was basically a wheel in the front and a wheel in the back.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then
it was curved, right? And you hook it on the toe, not the toe, but over the top of your feet, right?
No, so those were other stuff along the way, but it's similar to. Yeah. Either way, just help them, market their product, teach kids, how to ride the skateboard. But the greatest thing for them was, we did a PE class. We were going in all the middle schools teaching kids how to ride the skateboard.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. And company was extremely successful in less than 3 years. So
that's pretty awesome that you've been able to make a living basically having fun.
Basically.
That's pretty awesome.
And fun.
It's like those parents that say, you need to get a job, stop skateboarding.
Yeah, exactly. Stop skating. Put your hobby aside. Hobby turns into a profession, I didn't go to college, so this is all I know.
Oh, look. There it is, kids.
Exactly. Well, now, to your point that I'm still in the inline business, there hasn't been really much change in the way inline skates, especially, well, not especially, but, roller skating, ice skating, those boots, same traditional boots for the past 75 years has had zero innovation. Actually, inline in the late 80s was new, the whole skate industry. And there's been a lot of, niche products. So now I'm actually creating a new, universal chassis system binding skate, partnered up with one of the leading snowboard companies, Flow Sports.
Really?
And, yeah. So our company is called Reverse and should launch theoretically May 1st of this year, 2015.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Thank you. I will keep the details out of this conversation until until we officially launch with a press release. So, but yeah, no, it's awesome. It's going to reinvigorate the entire skate industry worldwide for sure.
Fair enough. We'll keep that on the DL for now. Something to look forward to.
Most definitely.
Now, what do you think between, it seems like the grind shoe industry, it's come to a halt now. I guess they've been sold to this new company, and they now own the name of Heelys and soap shoes, and they're just sitting on it. Do you see anything like a re-release coming in the future?
That I couldn't tell you, but I think with a new generation of kids and still a ton of fans out there, would definitely, strike it up again.
Do you think there's room for a sport like soaping in the aggressive skating community or skateboarding community?
You know, at the time, it was a novelty. Inline was at its peak. It's perfect timing. You know, and I think now definitely skating is, you know, the participation, just the media, you know, gone down significantly. But regardless, it's always been and will continue being about the kids. You know, it's like getting a Razor scooter. You know, now they're doing tricks on it and whatnot, but it's just the recreational fun of it all. So to do it that way and to not, you know, pigeonhole yourself saying, oh, I'm an inline company or a skate company. I would just branch it out as a mass market shoe, just like, you know, Heelys and any other footwear company.
Very cool.
But I definitely, you know, think it's, you know, next generation of kids should definitely, you know the roots of Soapin and roots of, you know, inline skating, aggressive skating, because that's what it, you know, ties into perfectly.
It gets weird. Like I've been out at the skate park a couple times, just out here soaping, and some kids, young kids. I was actually telling this to Greg last month, and weird enough, they didn't even know what they were. They thought that they were like, oh, are you just practicing your 50-50 grinds for when you have your skateboard later? And I'm like, no, these are soap shoes. And he had no idea what they were, but he wanted to buy a pair. And I'm trying to tell him, you know, they went out of business before you were even born.
Exactly.
And he's like, that's bullshit. Like, I want a pair. Like, and so
how old?
They were like between 9 and 13.
That's the age demographic.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, the only place you can get them on you know, eBay, rock.com, and there's a couple other mom and pop sites. And
Greg's got a bunch of them.
Greg got we call him the collector.
Yeah.
He's got, he just sent me these new ordnance, $600 or whatever, still brand new, size 11. So I just wore them in. And
where's mine, Greg? I'm just playing.
Ah, it's easy.
I still got a Tupperware bin full of them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So they're selling for like upwards of $1,000 on eBay. Some of pairs.
Really?
They have broadsides, and apparently there was recently a pair on there that were bought for $1,200.
Oh my God. Insane.
Right?
You can buy my used ones.
No.
Perfectly broken in.
Oh, see?
Time grinds and mistrials for days.
Oh, shit. You were on the box of those, weren't you?
I was.
Nice.
Glorified. No, I'm just playing.
Right. They sold master. What are I heard there was they did something with broadsides and they made something called like A-sides or something.
Yeah, I was a part of that too with Heelys. Or Soap did it too, right?
Yeah.
No, we did it with Heelys. I'm drawing a blank, dude.
That's okay.
I remember it though clearly. It didn't take off the way it should have. So.
Greg was saying there's only a couple pairs out there, and he's trying to get them so he can.
Yeah. Good luck.
He wants a monopoly on that market.
Either way, you know, I feel Soap comeback for sure should be revitalized and, you know, reincarnated. You know, the rising of the phoenix.
Ooh, I like it.
So,
do you have any advice for some of these kids out there that are just starting out? If they just got a pair of broadsides today by some, you know, magical happening, how would you describe how to start out on those to be able to bust, you know, to the proficiency that you had?
First and foremost, you gotta always start with basics. So learn the front side, learn the Royale, learn the Farfignugan, learn the Unity, and then once you get the basics down, then you can start doing, you know, Mizus and fish trials and true spin mizu and makios and alley-oop makio and fish brain and, soul grinds, acid, cornstar. Keep going.
Nice.
Yeah. And get a play rail. Most definitely. It's all about the play rails. How many times just, at the office we'd go downstairs and, set up, have a little session just with the P rail, and then go outside with a little handicap down rail that was outside the office door.
Do you remember that secret room that Soap had at the office? And it had all the TVs in it and the couches, and they put the rail and the carpet in there?
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
A lot of people done. Like when we worked were you there when we built the half pipe?
Yeah, I was skating it.
Oh, man. That was good times. Sitting down there like I was in, my little corner office, and the half pipe, it overlooked the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be just going down there doing McTwists and Bio 540s and on my paid lunch break. I don't know. It was good times.
Very good times. And skating a half pipe. That's what I will do as well when we have our warehouse, except I'll build a mini ramp, not a vert ramp.
Did you go on a tour with Soap?
I did. I traveled domestically. There was an opportunity to go with Brendan and the gang. It was like 5 different countries in Asia, but at that time I was graduating high school. So decided to get my, a degree from high school and then not go on tour. Okay. Which was a smarter way of going.
I remember he sent me some photos via AOL when he they sent him to France for some conference and some trade show. And
yeah.
So you were just in the U.S.
Did all the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Did you drove the Soap van, or they flew you?
Drove the Soap van. Yeah. Well, we did that cross country when it was the vans going East Coast to West Coast.
Oh, I think it was the 2001 tour.
You're probably better with the dates than I am, but yeah.
I think that was because he had a lot of that footage from on the 2 video.
Yeah, we had the van. They basically custom decked out the van. They had a kink rail coming from the top of the van down the windshield, from the hood of the car, and yeah.
Right.
That was great. So, play rails in the back and cubby holes for the sample shoes for kids to try.
Do you have any special memories from being on tour?
Man, I would probably say we did, no pun intended, but you're in Vegas now. We were in Vegas, and they did, what was it? Some huge concert festival. It was all, hard rock, and they don't even have it no more. Concerts. The series is not around. But, just beforehand, before the concert would start, there's 10 bands, just like Coachella would be.
Oh, okay.
And you're just teaching, anybody who's there for the event, hey, what's Soap Shoes all about? And set up right on the grass and start grinding, start teaching them, and then when the event was over, you tear down and walk right in and go see, all your favorite rock bands perform. So, yeah, that was awesome. So we got it for free. The luxury of being a vendor.
That's awesome.
So,
Brendan and I did a couple tours up in San Mateo, San Francisco area.
Yeah.
And I would write my phone number on the back of the Soap stickers, and have Brendan, skate the rail. We just kind of high five each other, like tag, you're up.
Yeah.
And then the other one would pass out the shoes and to the guys, but a lot of the girls would come by, and I'd be like, well, I don't have any more shoes your size, but here's some stickers. And then they'd be calling us up later, and we try to get them back to the hotel room. And there were some good experiences, positive experiences there.
won't talk about any of those.
Right. Save it for the uncut director's cut.
Conversion, yeah. Woo. Yeah, there were some crazy times.
Right.
It was, either way, man, it was the good old days, which could still be reincarnated.
Right. Do you have any shout outs out there for anyone?
Any shout outs? Same old usual. No, I'm it's for, mom and dad for pushing me to, skate, and it led to my existence, helping out with soap and beginning my career and maintained it all the way through into adulthood. So, a lot of support over the years from my wife, and now having 2 beautiful girls and still going strong, action sports for life.
That's awesome. Like, not a lot of people can say that. I can't say that myself. I always had a lot of negativity and pessimism from my family, saying, like, you need to get a real job. Skating is never gonna amount to anything. And
yeah.
I think that's funny because, like, personally, you met my ex-wife, who I have 2 children with, through blading. They're kind of like, she's like, who's this guy? And here I am, like, busting a fish brain down this 25-step rail. She's like, ooh, this guy's cute, like hot skater guy, whatever. And so I think I did all right, But
we got paid doing what we love doing.
Right.
That's who could say that.
I still see, like, a lot of hate from a lot of people. They still say, why don't you guys just rollerblade? Or where's your skateboard?
Haters are always gonna hate. So appreciate.
Hate?
So that's all right. I never listen to them. And the blogs always suck too. So what it is, they're jealous. That's all.
There it is.
They wish they could be us.
So if the folks at home wanted to get a hold of you for any advice, what do you think the best way would be to contact you?
Send me an email. We can go from there. Just joey@reversesports.com.
Joey@reversesports.com.
Yep. Just the way it sounds.
Very nice.
That's our new skate company.
Is that?
Yeah, Reverse Sports.
Okay.
So, yep.
I forgot if you had mentioned that earlier.
I said reverse. Drop the sports. Joey at
I need a refill in the coffee.
There you go.
All right, thank you for your time.
Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Barbera, Soul Master.
Thank you, Ryan, for the time and the opportunity. And guys, keep grinding away on soap shoes. Keep promoting. Keep the faith. It's coming back. Peace.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode. This is episode 3. Tonight we got a very special guest. This is my boy, all the way from El Segundo, California. This is Jose Ruiz, also known on the streets as Joey. How you doing tonight, bro?
I'm doing good. Good. How you doing, man? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, man. Since you moved down to the dirty South, bro, it's been quiet out here in the West.
Oh yeah, man. I miss you guys. I've been hanging out here, raising a family. You got to do what you got to do.
Wow.
But it'll take some time before I come out there. But I will make it out there. We'll hang out again.
Yeah, man. We gotta fucking skate it up, soap it up, and do what we do. Get crazy.
Up in the rails, man.
So I'm wondering, can you take us back to 1996, 97, and kind of give us an inside view of how you got into this?
Yeah, I mean, back in the '90s, man, it was a different lifestyle when it came to skateboarding and inline skating. So, pretty much, as an inline skater, you wanted to find a way to kind of combine both lifestyles into one, as everybody was separated. Skateboarders didn't like the inline skaters didn't like the skateboarders, but the company came out, Soap Shoes, and they tried to integrate both lifestyles by creating a set of shoes that you could skateboard and bust out ollies and stuff, and at the same time be able to go and hit up the rails and try to end the separate lifestyles by combining them both into one. And it was successful for a good time, but it never hit the mainstream as big as it should have. It never doesn't mean it won't. It just it never happened in the '90s. But it seems like the youth nowadays are a lot different. They're not so much like it was in the '90s. Everybody wants to, they're more equal. They want to. You don't hear people, segregating the inline skaters and calling each other's names. They just try to do things together now. It seems like, and it might be able to, hit the mainstream again. I'm looking forward to that.
Like the second coming, that would be pretty crazy. What
Yeah.
I know back in the day, there was a lot of beef, especially in El Segundo, being a primary skateboarder town, and us rollerbladers were minority for sure. And
Yeah, for sure, man.
I remember that you and I, we had a couple scuffles with a lot of the skateboarders over there, and like that one time when Eddie Ramirez pulled that hammer out of his backpack onto Jerry Dillon because he was like trying to start some shit with us, bro. Like, where do you think that beef spawns from?
It just it comes from my opinion was the skateboarders would look at you. They can't carry their skateboards down the hallway, and they're not able to bust out tricks and show off in front of the girls that they like. So they kind of maybe it's a little bit of a jealousy thing, and they seen us rollerbladers able to slide on handrails with just shoes, and they didn't like it, so they try to start shit by calling you names or talking behind your back, and stuff like that. But you just never really know, man. I mean, could be other reasons. It could be just remember the time that we were at the park and some skateboarder tried to hit you in the back of the head with a skateboard from behind your back, and we had to stop him from behind so he wouldn't hit you. And then his brother started shit with you in school, the next day in a big group, try to jump you and shit. That was stupid. Those days are over, I think, now. I don't think that shit's going to happen. It's no beef like that like it used to be.
Yeah, it seems like a lot more family-oriented when I go down there. And I don't just see, primarily in the 90s, it was rollerbladers, skateboarders, and BMX bikers at the skate park. And now I see Razor scooters. I see kids on Heelys shoes on the half pipe. What else did I see? They have some other hybrid sports that are out there. And I was talking to Greg a couple months ago, and apparently he was at the skate park on a unicycle, fucking going on the half pipe on the. I was like, wow, that's insane, bro. Like, I'm not dropping in on that shit. Fuck.
Yeah, hell yeah. There's a lot of people that are doing different things with, different type of ways to have fun, man. I've seen people with, it's not just skateboards now. They use the snake boards, and they're doing crazy shit, and I don't even know how to ride one of those. But, it's just about fun, man. It's just about how to make it fun, and I think that nowadays most of the kids in this generation is learning how to coexist with the skateboarders and inline skaters alike, and they're able to have fun without getting into altercations. And if you go to a skate park, it's not just about one sport. It's about just anybody that can do whatever they want to do to have some fun, and if they're able to spend the time doing that, what they do best, and they get admired for it,
I feel that for sure.
So I think there's a lot of good things to look up to in the near future with the soap shoes, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
I always felt back in the day like, the original designers, it was supposed to be for everyone in the skating community, rollerbladers and skateboarders alike, because, you can soap and practice royals and unities, but you can also, pretend you're doing 50-50 grinds like you have a skateboard. You just don't have it with you, and it seemed like it took on for some skateboarders, and others completely hated the sport, and they were just like, no, that's soap shoes, that's for fucking fruit booters, and they wouldn't even touch it. It was, that shit kind of tripped me out. And then some other skateboarders were like, oh, I'm down with this, bro. Like, now I don't have to drag my board around. I can still grind, but I don't have to fucking be carrying my board everywhere I go and shit.
Exactly, man. It changed the outlook in the skateboarding alone, because now you can wear your shoes, and there's shoes that are perfectly fine for skateboarders, but you can get off your board and you can do something that's a little more entertaining when you can't carry your board around, you don't have to stick, you don't have to walk around the hallways in school with your board. You just walk around with your shoes and then bust out on the rail, especially if you're doing tricks that you can normally do on inline skates. If they're starting to design the soaps in a way that you can bust out the tricks that you normally would only be able to do on inline skates, like the royales and the topside alleys, acids, and all kinds of different stuff, that you can do that you could only do on skates, and now you can do it on soap shoes. The sky's the limit, man. It's going to change the way that people look at it, at soap shoes as a whole. And, I think that it'll be a lot of fun.
That's pretty badass, man. I remember back in the day, we used to, when we have Mr. Crystal's class, and we'd be, we'd ditch class to go smoke a cigarette, and then we'd just have our soaps on already, and we'd walk down into the quad and start busting on the corner rail and the gold rail. And it was a lot different once we started soaping, because, before we wanted to skate, we had to go to our locker, we had to take off our, our shoes, our Jordans or whatever we're wearing, strap up, and then go skate, and then have to come back and take our skates back off, and then put our shoes back on and go back to class. Yeah, it eliminated the hassle.
Yeah, for sure, man. It made it more fun too. Remember we used to have to put on the skates every single morning. We'd go out. We only had 30 minutes to practice. And then, we'd do it right before detention or whatever. We'd go to school early. I would find an excuse to, go out and, leave my house earlier than usual to go to school, because I just wanted to practice. And we got together, we did some tricks, and, needless to say, inline skating is what opened up the sport for soap shoes, because without inline skating, soap shoes would never be around. And
right.
And it took a lot of talent before you got a bunch of people together to try on those shoes and start doing crazy stuff like you started doing, you jumping on those long-ass rails at the beach, man. Nobody was doing that back then. And we knew some pretty good inline skaters, so nobody was doing that stuff. In fact, it's hard to even find people doing that stuff right now. But we've already hit our prime in that type of stage, so it's not like we can go out and do stuff like that. It's now it's somebody else's turn, and it's the new generation that's going to take the sport to the new limit.
I like that.
And yeah, man. People like in Australia and stuff, they're all into it. They like it, and that country might be the one that takes it to the next level, man, and that brings it back. You never know.
I feel that. Like, I've been following Greg Krellin for a while and watching him and all his crew from the Melbourne Soapers, and the videos that they're posting. Looks like it's interesting, the time delay. Whereas my kids live in England, and over in England they still haven't even heard of soap shoes, and here it is 16, 17 years later. And they're just now, getting to Australia, where it's not that they weren't there before, but there was no buzz, like as if we didn't do some of the tours that should have been done over there. But, it seems like the word is spreading. And I think to quote Greg, he was saying, it's not dead underground. We're still out here doing it. Like whether it's mainstream or not, he's like, they're still in the streets fucking hitting up rails. And it's kind of impressive, man.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, back in the 90s, you didn't have the internet as it wasn't as widespread as it is now. So if I must say anything, it's the perfect time to get into the sport. And it is a sport because it's not easy to do what soapers do, man. You can damage yourself pretty bad if you don't know what you're doing, but it takes guts and it takes overcoming a lot of fear to be able to bust out the tricks that nobody else wants to do. The moment, and I used to feel this way, before you jump on a handrail, you just got to overcome that fear, man. And that's what we had to do, man. We had to do in the 90s. We did it, but we had a video camera to videotape our success, to videotape our experiences. But we never had an ability to share the videos widespread the way people do nowadays, and this generation does. And when they overcome those fears, they'll be able to share it with the world by uploading it on YouTube, which was never around when we were doing this stuff. And it's got a lot of potential. So, this is the time to do it if you're going to do it. So, Australia, more power to you. You can take it to a new level, man. Cheers.
Those are powerful words. Can you go into that a little deeper when you're saying overcome your fear? And I remember that one thing I really admired about you, Jose, was that you had this ability to just fucking look at something that another guy might think is impossible. A lot of people, guys at home don't know. The first day Jose was on skates, he backslid a 6-step handrail, and that's kind of unheard of. Usually you build up to stuff like that, and here, when you put on those K2s, you were like, "Fuck this shit! I'm gonna be a skater. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this." And you jump on, fucking one-footed, nailed it, landed it, and that was insane. And what goes through your mind when you're doing a trick like that? Obviously, you're very mentally committed to it.
Yeah, I mean, when I first put on the skates for the very first time, those K2s, they felt like they were just part of my feet, and you got to feel a sense of comfort before you can even start skating. And when I put those skates on, it was just, I seen how you did it, and I seen how you were able to manage to overcome your own fears yourself. And I took that very first step to overcome the fear of eating shit and busting myself up, by just doing it, man. And just and the skates felt good on my feet. I felt comfortable, but right before the jump, you just have to take a leap of faith, man, kind of like your song. You got to take a leap of faith. And when you make that leap of faith, you're either going to fail or you're going to succeed. And if you fail, you can take that as a learning experience because you're not really failing because you're learning not to do the thing that made you fall. So either you're going to overcome the fear, and once you overcome that fear, you just will continue to do it over and over and over again because you know that you've done it once, you can do it again. And that's pretty much the steps I took with any new trick that I try to learn. That's with rails, you know, with anything that I try to learn that was new when it came to skating. I just overcame the fear because I knew that if I succeeded, I would be able to continue to succeed at doing it. So
that's a really positive mindset to have. So essentially, you're saying you can't really lose. You're just saying like, I'm either going to jump, and whether I quote unquote fail or not, it really doesn't matter because whatever. If I wipe out one time, I'll just get back up and do it again until I get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that you
got to take.
Essentially,
like into the sport, you know.
So, like mentally, you know, you can't lose at that point. That's really cool.
Yeah, you're gonna succeed at no matter what, and you know, I mean, we knew that people that were sponsored doing this stuff were also, you know, older kids and older guys, like you know, the ones that were at the XXX games XXX games. What the fuck? No, they were at the X Games, but you know, and they motivated me too. You know, the professionals at the time, you know, they were doing some crazy stuff, and they were a lot older than us, and we figured, you know, we can do it if they can.
Mm-hmm. Now, coming back from, well, you've taken personally. I've had a lot of injuries myself. I broke my ankle, dislocated my finger. I fractured 20 teeth. I broke my cheekbone, and I broke my thumb. I think, and then some other injuries. But you probably took the worst fall of all. You broke your femur, and you were in a wheelchair for, you know, months on end. I remember that we had to, you know, to come kick it at your house, like. We'd come and your mom was all pissed off and blaming us for being bad influences for trying to get you to skate and shit. And then we'd sneak off onto your patio and we'd be smoking cigarettes in the wheelchair. But I mean, here you are standing today. I mean, you took the worst fall and you're still fucking on your game and you're still here. You know, no failure. You know, what is it like to go through an experience like that? I mean, you weren't able to walk for, 6 months?
Yeah, man, it was hard. I mean, especially because I was bedridden for 3 months straight, and that was the hardest part, not being able to get out of bed.
Can you take us back to like the incident, how that happened?
Yeah, I was leaving school, and I knew that the sponsorship video was coming up soon for the soap shoes. And the company was looking for to sponsor a team of what, maybe, you know, a group of just our group, pretty much. They wanted to sponsor our group of inline skaters to be in the upcoming soap shoes video, and they wanted to open up the store and everything. So I wanted to go to the park and hit up that handrail that I had successfully busted out many times, and you know, I just went and just said, I'm going to go stop by the park and I'm just going to do it, you know, a couple of times as a normal routine.
This is the P trail, right? The kink trail?
It was the kink trail. Mm-hmm. And I had my backpack on. I didn't feel like I needed to take it off or nothing because I felt confident that I could do it. Mm-hmm. So I did it, and apparently somebody, I know there was skateboarders in that area that liked to put wax on the handrails because it was like, you know, they knew that rollerbladers couldn't really slide on handrails with wax on them. And it just happened to be super slick this time that I jumped on it. I slid so fast that when I hit the knot on the rail in the middle of the kink, I just flew off of it, you know, both feet, and I just flew over the next flight of stairs and just landed straight on my leg. And I heard a big loud pop, and I couldn't move. I tried to stand up, and I just heard a crack, and I couldn't move. Then, you know, paramedics were called, and they had to cut my jeans off and shit and put all the necessary stuff and pop it into place. That was one of my stuff, you know. I mean, the hardest part was when the doctor told me that I wasn't going to be able to do any type of extreme sports or weightlifting for the rest of my life, or if I wanted to get a career, it's going to have to be behind a computer desk, because I couldn't do anything with weightlifting or anything that consisted of lifting any type of weight with my elbows. Because I shattered my elbow when I was practicing. You know, I was with you. As a matter of fact, I landed on my elbow, and I went through the whole day of class, the whole school period. You know, from morning to end, and then finally at the end, my math teacher was like, "Hey man, I used to be a doctor, and that doesn't look too good." And I said, "No, it's not broken," because I didn't want to believe that it was broken.
Right. I remember we were sitting in the hallway, and you were sitting there trying to, you were leaning up, and you're like, my elbow is kind of aggravating me. And we looked at it, and it was like, not really swollen, but it was in a way, and you're like, I think I broke my elbow, but I'm not sure. Man, fuck this shit. And you just kept going through class after class, and...
You know, in my mind, I kind of knew it was something was bad. You know, I knew it was broken, because I tried to lift my backpack off the ground, and it just like shattered more, and I heard it grind, and I was like, and I made this loud sound, and everybody looked at me, and then I just decided to lift it up with my other hand, and then at the end, my math teacher he was like, you know, I think you need to go home. You broke it, man. You need to go to a doctor. And I said, I guess my mom picked me up at the end, and, you know, she came and picked me up with a new car that she had just bought. And I was like, oh, my elbow feels better now, because I seen a new car in the driveway. I was like, hey, these are the things that make you happy when you're freaking young, dude. But yeah, man, that was the first time I broke my elbow, and then I had to lie to my parents. I told them that you know, because they didn't want me skating. They knew I would hurt myself. So, you know, it comes with the sport. You're gonna get hurt. You know it. You got hurt like so many times, man. I remember you busted up your chin. You had to get stitches and shit. You know, you got a lot of stuff on, man. And I bet you got scars. And I remember seeing that video they uploaded on the network, where you busted your finger and busted, and like it was bent all the way in like a 90-degree angle. Remember that?
Right.
So I mean,
that was a week before Sarah and I got married, and when that one didn't break, it just dislocated, and they popped it back, but it never went back down to the size, and we thought it was a bad omen, because it was a week before the wedding, and we went to try the rings on that we had just bought, and the ring wouldn't fit over my finger, so we had to buy a whole new ring for me, like basically last minute.
Man, yeah, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, it comes with the territory. If you're gonna do stuff like that, you expect to get hurt. So you're gonna get hurt. You just better have some health insurance, you know, or a way to cover your expenses, because you know you're gonna get hurt. But that's how you get better. You get hurt, you get up and try it again. You heal. You know, I was on a cast, and I for like a month and a half on my elbow, and I was still trying to get good skating with a cast on, trying to bust out rails and stuff to try to get better. You know, and I ended up falling on my cast and everything. And right after I got off my cast, I ended up breaking my elbow again, the same one. You know, I shattered it again, and then I broke my other elbow on the other side, and I had to get surgery. So I mean, that's probably what stopped me at the end after my femur. That's my last break, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. Plus, we moved out of the state, and I left all you guys behind. So,
I remember that it wasn't even healed yet, and you were just like, "Fuck this! I got to grind something." And you said they were putting those the big ass elbow pads over your cast, and you were still out there grinding, and the girls at the school, they're like, he's gonna break it again, like they're all hating and shit. But I remember the addiction. It was like, oh, I woke up and it was like, we'd be up at fucking 3:30 in the morning heading over to the school to be there at 4 o'clock to grind on the bus bench. It was just like, oh man, I gotta grind something now.
I know, man. So, yeah, I got high hopes for the industry as a whole, man. I wish in the future I can see it in the Olympics, maybe, or in the X Games. Who knows, man? You just never know where it's gonna head. Like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see it go down. United States too. Like I said, the internet's worldwide. Everybody's on the internet one way or another. So they'll be able to upload videos now with their phones instead of carrying, little video cameras we carried around that were heavy and stuff. Now they can just get their phones. Heck, you even got drones that can fly and get excellent footage of people doing some awesome tricks. That you can get great views, great angles, and it's just the sky's the limit now, man. It's just so interesting to see where it's gonna head.
Man, that's pretty insightful right there. Yeah, I noticed that social media is really changing the way that the community's basically getting together as well. Before, it was just our little circle. If we didn't know anyone else, it was like, unless you saw someone with a Senate shirt or a 976 shirt, then you wouldn't even know that they're a skater. And now you could just go on Facebook and type in, like I just recently joined, I just typed in Las Vegas Rollerbladers, and there it was. Las Vegas Bladers was like a group, and there's 137 dudes in that group that are all skating at the parks. And now I can go through a file and be like, oh, this guy seems like he's on my level, whatever, and I hit him up and say, hey, where are you guys skating today? And he's like, oh, we're going to be over at fucking Craig Ranch or whatever. And then be like, fuck, swoop me up, let's roll. And it's a cool way to connect and meet new friends, and anyone can just start a group now. And before, like us in the 90s, it was like, if I wanted to skate, I had to go to a payphone and dial your pager number and then fucking put in our little skate code, like we're skating, whatever. And then you have to call me back at the payphone if it even accepted incoming calls. And then I'm like, hey, we're over here skating the high curb at the high school. Do you want to come down? And that's crazy. Now I could just go on my iPhone and be like, boom, FaceTime. Hey, bro, check out this rail right here. You want to skate or what?
See that? It's a lot different now, man. It's a lot different. So it's a different ball game, I think. So, the 90s were fun. I'm never going to forget the 90s. It's definitely something that kind of, I might say, started the whole soap shoes thing. It actually did. In the 90s started the whole thing. So, the friends you meet, when you were sponsored, you traveled to the U.S., you met a lot of people, you got a lot of connections, you learned a lot about people, you also learned about the industry yourself. You got a chance to not only meet new people, but also learn who to stay away from in the industry when they try to screw you over. I think that those are the years that I'm never going to forget, and be honest with you. Even though we didn't have the technology to, call up on a Skype or nothing, it was fun to be able to just pick up the phone and say, hey, man, I'm going to be skating at such and such place, or just go to a regular spot and at a certain time of the day, and knowing that you're going to meet a whole group of your local skaters. We had a small little clique that we used to get together with and skate every single time, so that was fun. I'm not going to forget those years,
Do you have like a specific favorite memory?
Yeah, man. One of my favorite memories was the Hacienda Hotel rail, because it was just long. It was a long handrail. It had 53 steps, and it was a straight shot. And we were trying to make the perfect video to bust out that rail. And I remember, you know, we had the camera rolling. Everybody had skates on, you know, and you had to maneuver the camera at a lower angles to kind of get an upper view of the skater with the blade. So sometimes we had to roll really low to the ground and just handing our drinks off, passing it to the person with the camera right before you bust out the rail. Those, you know, making it fun like that. And then sliding down a long-ass rail just made it super freaking tight. You know, it just made it look nice. And I just remember those type of moments that made the experience a lot more exciting and more interesting. At the end of the day, we go at your house and or my house or Greg's house or Craig's house. And we, you know, look at the video footage and see what we've done, and then you like getting into your editing mode and you start editing everything, putting music into the videos. You know, that's the type of stuff that made everything interesting and made the sport more enjoyable. So that's my favorite memories.
Cool. That's awesome stuff. Any advice for anyone starting up today?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just if you're going to start the sport, whether it's inline skating or soap shoes, just go get you a pair of shoes. Don't let anybody think or tell you that you can't accomplish what you want to accomplish. You want to be a professional soaper, then go out there and look and start small and finish big, man. Just don't ever stay at one place. Always try new things with your soaps, and you'll reach new levels that you've never imagined. Yeah, pretty much it, man.
Start small and finish big. I like it, bro.
Yeah, finish big. You will finish big. As long as you start small, you'll be able to finish big because you're never going to stop learning. You know, you just got to keep trying new things with your soaps.
It's fucking sick, man. All right, bro. We're running out of time here. Thank you for your time. If the guys at home want to get a hold of you, what kind of contact information could they use?
You know, they can hit me up on Facebook. Just look me up under Joey Ruiz, Ruiz, and you know, let me know you're a soaper or an inline skater fan, and you like doing the sport, and I'll add you right into my list, man. I like having friends like that.
Cool.
I don't give out my personal phone, but, you know, not at this moment at least, but maybe another time.
For sure. Start small, finish big. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Ruiz.
Nice talking to you, man. It was a pleasure speaking to you again, Ryan J to the B. Talk to you later, brother. I'll definitely have to hit you up in Vegas, man. We're gonna get together and party out. We gotta ride on the Mustang again and drop top. And you gotta come visit. You know, we'll go to Florida, go to LA, take a drive to Las Vegas from LA. That's always fun.
I can't wait, bro. Every time we go out there, we always well, shit. You know what happens.
Yeah. We got to do something different. We got to go to Mexico or something, cross the border since we're down in L.A. anyways. We got to do something more interesting. I've never done that shit.
Ooh, okay.
You know? Or, hey, got to go to Colorado.
Yeah. Okay. Some of that, what did you call it? Lechuga. Some of the lechuga.
Some of that lechuga, man. Some of that hippie lettuce. Is that how you know? That's what they say over there. It's the new Amsterdam. So, hey, if it's legal, might as well enjoy it, man. I see the new tattoo you got over there, man, on that hand. Is pretty crisp.
Oh, it's a maple leaf. I'm a Justin Bieber fan.
That's right.
That's what I tell him at my, if I'm at work, keep it on the DL. He's like, oh, okay. Cool. All right, player.
Peace.
guys, what's up? It's your boy Ryan J. This month on this show, we've got pro soaper Derek Brooks, creator of www.solidgrind.com. OG status right here. What's up, player?
What's up, my man?
Yeah, man. So, what you guys don't know is this man right here is responsible for gluing, the entire community together for the last, 15 years now?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can take all that credit, but I think I got the only one of the last original sites still going. So I guess it's I think that's kind of keeping some people together. People are still posting on it all the time. I was actually trying to get into it the other day. I can't even remember my password, so I got to figure that out.
Right. And yeah, it's been pretty cool. Like a lot of friendships have developed there that, from people that would have never been able to even meet each other. And I think it's definitely kept the community strong. There's still a good vibe, and it's great.
Absolutely.
And then also bringing the community into 2015 with the new Solid Grind app. You guys, I just posted an update on this. Derek just came out with an app for Solid Grind. He's got a lot of the old school paraphernalia on there, and you can actually go on the, I got it on my iPhone right now. You can go on and purchase, he's got some old soap videos on there, stickers, keychains, t-shirts. That's amazing. And that's no easy task, to write an app.
Yeah, so actually the company that I'm working for right now, that's what we do. We built this commerce software for iPhone apps and stuff like that. And we had everyone in the company is we should be using our own app. So I'm like, well, shit, I got a bunch of old soap stuff. I should just throw it on this app and try to distribute it, get it out to people who want it. So That's what I did.
That's awesome, man. Besides soaping, you programmed websites now and apps. How you got to be a really tech savvy guy, to be able to pull that off. And
yeah, so I went to college for computer science to get into all that stuff, and one of my very first classes was learning how to build a website in '99, right?
Okay.
And at the time, I was just getting into soaping, and I'm we all had to come up with some topic or whatever. I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna make a freestyle walking website. So I made this thing, and that's kind of what escalated up to what Solid Grind is today. I've just kind of kept adding to it and adding to it. The name changed a couple times, but that's what it is now. That's
awesome. And it's not it's not like a WordPress site. This thing has forums and multiple pages. It's pretty badass.
Thanks, man.
How did you get started in all this? If we can go back down memory lane.
In soap shoes altogether?
Yeah. Did you use to skateboard? Did you use to rollerblade?
I played a lot of inline hockey and stuff. So I wasn't really into aggressive skating much, but I would. We'd skate to some parking lot to play hockey, and I would do stalls off flower pots and stuff like that. I didn't have grind shoes or anything. They were just hockey skates, but I'd still stall on stuff and jump over stuff and all that. But my senior year in high school, 99, I think, or 98, I was at this party, and this kid had soaps, and I saw him around in our school. Kids would be sliding on the heaters in the school and stuff like that. And this kid's yo, you got to try these on. So I tried them on. He had some old school, the blue and white scabs or whatever.
Okay.
I threw those on, jumped on this practice rail, and just busted my ass, right? like everyone does when they're not into skating or whatever, and tries on a pair of soaps.
Of course.
So I got them. Man, I started sticking some grinds after a while, and I'm this is really fun. So I bought them, and then been soaping since, or had been soaping since. I haven't really done a whole lot in the last while.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. And now you got into that. You had these scabs. You freestyle walking. You find the shoes. How did you go from jumping up on flower pots to being sponsored and?
Yeah. So I started out with that website, right? When I first went to college, I learned how to program websites. So I made Derek's Freestyle Walking webpage or whatever it's called. I'll actually send you a link to it. I still got it on the internet somewhere. It's super shitty.
Okay, I'll put that link in the down bar for sure.
Yeah, it's really funny. But so I had that site, and I wanted to buy more soap stuff when I was in college. I'm man, where do I find this? There's nowhere around. was in the middle of Iowa. There was no like skate shops or anything out there. So I emailed Soap, like just got on the website. And I remember at the time, like you guys had all those, like back at the time, the videos were like this big on there. There was that video of you sliding that gigantic beach rail.
Okay.
And then like rolling at the end, I remember all that shit. That was awesome. But I emailed and emailed. No one was responding to me. I'm like, yo, I just want like a catalog so I can order some stuff, because that's how you bought things at the time. There wasn't like internet shopping really.
Oh, right. Yeah, they had that like 1-888 number or something.
Yeah. And so I was like trying to get a hold of him, and no one got back to me forever. And finally, Chris Morris hit me up. Like, I'm like, oh shit, this is the CEO of the company. Nice. And so he emails me. He's like, yo, I'm really sorry. Like, we got your email. Sorry we didn't get back to you. I just found it. What are you doing? I like talked to him like, yo, I got this website. I'm trying to promote soap shoes out here in the Midwest. And he's like, all right. He's like, well, what do you want to order? I'm like, just like some shirts and a hat. So he just sent me this box of stuff. And like,
Score.
It was just totally free. Yeah, he just like sent me a hat and like some stickers and all this stuff. And it was awesome. So I was emailing with him some more, and he was like, hey, do you want to do demos in the Midwest? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll do demos. So he sent me like a practice rail and like a box of like 15 pairs of shoes, like all sizes. And then I just started doing demos around like my college, and eventually kind of just traveling around the Midwest. Went to like St. Louis, Chicago a lot, and doing demos all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is badass, man. That's like, you're like the 10th caller on the radio show, like just won the grand prize right there.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. It was really weird. It's just like a timing thing, and it was super dope that Chris responded to me. Yeah.
Whereabouts did you go, like on all those little demos and stuff? Was that I remember doing some back in the day, and we'd go to this high school or this mall, and same kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly the same kind of thing. I did mostly like college stuff, like on my own campus. Like I would have like just set up some rails and a bunch of shoes, and like have people come out. I'd do that a couple times a year. And then we went to another college down in like St. Louis and did demos down there. There's a dude named Alexi from Delaware, and then he went to college in St. Louis. He was like huge into the soap shoe scene back then. We went and did a big demo at his college. That was awesome. We did like skate parks and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So were there any crazy reactions from people?
I mean, like everyone's a dick at that time, Like skateboarders, they're always like, "What are you guys doing?" Yeah, I mean, you got that kind of stuff. I was always wanting to.
Where's your skateboard, bro? You forgot your skateboard?
Huh? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all that shit. I was always wanting to get someone who was like a pro skateboarder to mix in soap shoes and like ollie up and like soap a bench and like grab his deck or something, like drop back into it, like do an acid drop after that or something.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Fox, like he was like a pro skateboarder, and they sponsored him back in the day in like '99. But then that was when the team kind of split up and Soap started doing their own thing. When you came on, it had to have been more like 2000, 2001-ish, I'm guessing.
It was like 2000, yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't remember like when they got those vans, did the van tours.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan came out this way, and he like did a demo, like he did a few demos with me, and we went up to like Minneapolis Milwaukee, and so I rode with them on the tour for a while. It was like him, his brother Dalen, and this dude named Aaron, I think like his cousin or something. That was pretty awesome.
Well, that must have been fun.
Yeah.
There's wild guys right there.
Yeah.
When did you come out with the Solid Grind? That was around the same time?
So it was like I had like the Derek's Freestyle Walking webpage or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that changed to like brooksfsw.com. Then I went to like brooks.com, which when I went to brooks.com, I tried to incorporate other extreme sports like just like inline skating and skateboarding and snowboarding and all that. Mm-hmm. But then I found that's already been done. Like there's enough of those sites. So then I just went back to straight soap shoes again.
Okay.
Probably like 2002, 2003. I don't know.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool. Now I know that I listened to this radio interview with you. This is a couple years back, and that's actually how I first heard about you. Because I was kind of like looking around on the site, and then just kind of seeing what was going on in the community. And I guess so Soap was still. I heard it was like they were still paying you, and So you got to do your own thing plus your job, and then just for like hosting the website and keeping the traffic running through it.
Yeah, they were sending me checks for the website. That's pretty rad.
Oh, you got the hustler right here. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
just
I wish I still did that.
you were basically went pro like when you were still in school. Then that's kind of cool.
Yeah, man. It was fun.
You have any favorite memories from back then?
All the tours, like that's. I don't know if you saw the St. Louis tour, or the demo we did down there. Like we made a little video about it. That was super fun. Like, Soap got us a van. Like we had this like minivan we rented, and like just went down there, picked up a couple kids in Kansas City that we never met before. Like we just met them on solid ground, you know. They're like, yo, we want to go to this demo with you. We're like, well, yeah, we'll swing by and get you. We picked up some dudes, and then we went on to St. Louis. A bunch of people met us down there, and we just had a blast. This fraternity like let us party with them because the dude we were doing the demo with was in this frat. It was really fun.
Fucking dope. What experience back then kind of brought you to nowadays? How did Soap kind of shape you into the man you are today?
I mean, well, so for one thing, like it gave me a hobby to like kind of take my professional career into. Like I could use soap shoes as a topic for like the website thing. Like now this app that I'm building right now, I could just like keep using it for that kind of stuff, which is really fun. I think that's probably the thing. I mean, and obviously like the whole skater mentality, skater culture, like that obviously defines how people are too. So when you're just surrounded by that, it's really fun.
I feel that, like a family vibe, you know.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, like I've met so many people from Soaping. Like there's a dude named Zach Larson who was kind of like always with me through all the soap stuff as I was doing it. I met him because he was walking through my campus, and I saw like he was there like touring like, our college with his girlfriend or something like that. Like, still in high school and all that, trying to find a college to go to. And I just saw that he had soap shoes on. I just like pointed at him like, yo, what's up, man? You got soaps. And he's like, yeah, I'm staying here tonight. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get together later. And then we started sliding rails around campus, and we've been like really good buddies ever since.
That's dope, man. A little good conversational piece right there. That's badass. What is life like today out there in Iowa?
I mean, soap-wise, nothing's going on, obviously. But other than that, it's just life, man.
A lot of stuff on the forum there. I know you're a busy guy and all. I see like it hasn't really been updated since like 2008-ish, I guess it looks like. And
yeah,
you know, a lot of people are still on there trying to put in pictures and whatever. Is there any future in updating the site at all?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and I've been thinking about it a lot more lately, like, as I pushed this app out and, like, started talking to people again, because, like, when you're not doing it, it's hard to maintain, right? Like, I mean, I've put on my shoes, like, every once in a while, I still go slide around and stuff, just, like, while I'm out. Like, I don't have anyone to session with or anything like that, but, like, I'll just throw on my shoes every once in a while. But, like, when you're not, like super active in it, it's just hard to maintain the site and, like, keep content coming, especially when Soap's not putting anything out themselves.
Right.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. Like Greg Krellin, that dude that just ordered all the stuff from my app.
Yeah.
Which sucks, by the way. I found out, like, so he put this big ass order in, right? He bought all this stuff. Just like, it was awesome. Like, I'm stoked to send it to him. And I don't know how international shipping works apparently. So I put a $15 flat rate, whatever you want. And then I go to ship it the other day, and it's $60. So I'm like, ooh, I ate that one. But anyway.
Oh, so he's eating that up. Yeah, as soon as he got it, it was like posted on 3 different sites. I was like, uh-oh, someone went shopping.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like he's like super into it now, like maybe making him an admin or something, or like you're still doing stuff. Like if you wanted to post on there, that'd be rad.
Yeah, he just made rank, like you know, because I'm one of the admin on the Solid Grind on the Facebook page. So
yeah,
I had to boost him up and put him on admin as well.
Yeah. So I was thinking about like how can I do that, and I'm actually kind of surprised. Like I haven't done anything to the site in years except for just pay to get it renewed. You know, I'm actually surprised. Like it hasn't been hacked. Like it's still running all good and everything. But yeah, it seems to be going.
It's a good little board, man. It's a cool site. Going on there.
I was trying to. I mean, the whole thing was I just wanted to have like as much information as you could get about soap stuff, like all the shoe models, the grind plates, and all that stuff. And then also have like dope pictures and videos and all that.
And then it just kind of turned into, well, it's, like you said, it's evolved over the years. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, you should be like commended for that because, like, you're responsible, like I said, for holding the whole community together. People are still. There was one dude the other day who hit me up. Sometimes people they'll send me little video messages. This one dude, Tyler Wayne, out in New Hampshire, he sends me funny ass videos of them soaping in the snow. Like, I guess they made a soap park in the backyard, and it's just covered in snow. And they have like one little practice rail out there, and there's a little ramp, and they're jumping around. They're smoking out and drinking and just soaping around and just having a good time. And I'd be cracking up with these videos. And then I'm like, well, how did you hear about this? They're like, well, we just, we're searching around and we found that. We found Solid Grind, and, now here we are. And now I introduce them to Greg and, keeping the community going.
Oh, yeah, that's great. It's great. I'm actually surprised people are finding shoes.
Yeah, and it's weird, like, some new pair, like, you think that they would show up, but then a pair comes out of nowhere. It's like, wait a minute, where did this guy get this brand new pair from? Like,
Yeah.
I always kind of wonder, I wonder if there's some little company who still, like, releases, like, one pair at a time. We'll put them out on eBay for, like, $1,000. Fuck.
Yeah. Or like someone's finding these old stockpiles just in the back of like PacSun warehouses or shit like that.
Yeah. Did you ever get to see the actual warehouse in Torrance?
No.
That shit was crazy. Yeah, they had this 80,000 square foot warehouse in the back with a 12-foot half pipe, and it was just pallets of shoes, and you could it was like as long as a city block.
So I went to when HSL, the Healy company, bought soap, like I don't know, like 2004, 2005. Actually, 2005. I went and visited them in Texas, and that was crazy. Just Healy's everywhere, and
Wow.
they had like 2 pairs of soaps at the time. They were starting to put grind plates in Healy's and all that, but yeah, I didn't get to any like actual soap places.
Wow. Crazy. You got any shout outs? Besides, I know you shout out your buddy.
Man, like I don't know, like my crew was like Aaron Taraboletti, Turbo, Jordan Muck, Zach Larson. Those are the guys that like I was always soaping with. We didn't have like a relay crew or anything like that. Like you guys were bonkers.
That was life back then, like every day soaping.
Yeah, man, you guys were nuts. Like I remember you always had like the just clean ass Royales and doing backflips off of things and all that. And Danny, right? Danny?
Uh-huh.
Dude always sticking unities and stuff. I've never been able to stick a unity. My ankles just don't do that, man.
Yeah, you gotta have like a bigger groove on the other foot. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes you get a groove on the front foot, and then if you don't have it on the back foot just as well, it just slips out. Unities.
Yep.
Right. That was like my favorite trick.
Yeah,
Fun.
I can't do it. I'm more of a Farfanugan and Royale kind of guy. And I also have like the broadsides and all that stuff, so I use the shit out of those, like Mizus and all that.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, Joey be tearing it up with that shit. So,
Yeah, man, I remember when those came out. Like, did you ever meet Linda Gonzalez at Soap? Or Lynn, maybe?
that name sounds really familiar.
I don't know what she did. Like, she's like an admin or something, but she was
Linda.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, so she hooked me up with everything, man. She just sent me broadsides. She's like, you got to try these new shoes. I'm like, sold. Just send me all that stuff.
I think she was like in the office when you first come in. She was the nice one.
Yeah, she was awesome. Kind of raspy voice.
Don't remember the raspy voice. I remember the hair. Right on, man. If any of the fans at home want to get a hold of you, do you have any contact information?
Yeah, I mean, check me out at brooks.com. That's BROOX.com.
BROOX.com.
Yep, I'm Brooks on Twitter, spelled the same way. You all know Solid Grind and all that. You can always drop me an email too at Derek@brooks.com.
Derek@brooks.com. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. All right, buddy. It was awesome talking to you.
You too, my man.
We'll see you on the next one. Fucking soap for life, baby.
All right. Later on.
Peace out, Derek. What's up, Soapers? We're back here. This month we got a very, very special guest. We got Jason Clam, who is the director of the very first full-length soap documentary called Lords of Soaptown. And he's here to give us a little bit of insight and tell us about his product. How did you get started in this?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm sorry, I totally fucking forgot to tell you my last name's Klum. Everybody thinks it's Clam. I totally forgot to tell you that. I'm sorry. My bad on that.
Klum.
Sorry. Yes, Klum. Yes.
Correction made. Jason Klum, everyone.
I'm originally from upstate New York. I went to college in Chicago, and when I went to college there, I met these dudes in film school. Well, one of them, his name's Mike Rempert, and Mike told me, he's like, well, I was on MTV in high school, and I said, what were you doing on MTV? And he was on this show called MTV News Unfiltered, and I said, I remember that show. What did you do? He said, well, we created this sport called freestyle walking, and I'm like, you joking? And because that was one of the dumbest things I'd ever seen. To me, when I was 15, I thought it was really stupid, to be honest. And when I first heard of soaps, I thought they were dumb. And he told me, he's like, look, we created it, we did this, and also we invented soap shoes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And the kid blew my mind, and it sat and gestated in my brain for another 7 years before I was out here in LA, had access to some equipment. And there's a lot more to the story, but that was the basics, that it sounded like these teenage kids that invented this thing that I knew blew up big. And long story short, I now kind of really love freestyle walking, and I'm still desperately trying to get my own pair of shoes, the soaps that fit. So. For sure.
Wait, so how do you invent freestyle walking?
Well, there's a piece, if you actually go on YouTube and search, if you search for Freestyle Walking MTV or go to Camera Planet Archive, which is the name of where the original thing is uploaded, these kids created the term freestyle walking. They called it skateboarding without a skateboard. And it blew up on MTV. And, a year later, soaps come out. They were just jumping off the walls and being really goofy and really silly and just having fun, but they're the ones who came up with the term. And that's what was kind of mind-blowing about it to me. It was just like, these 15-year-old kids did this thing, this very small thing that still has a ripple in pop culture. And I mean, probably better than anybody, even if you don't call it freestyle walking necessarily, it's definitely associated with soaps.
Wow. So essentially this documentary it's not just about soap. You're taking it back and you're giving, I think you said it, the way that you market it was the true story of freestyle walk. So
yeah, exactly right. And that's how it started. But like the big thing is really that they invented soaps, and soaps were kind of, they were important to a lot of people. I mean, I interviewed, Tony Alla is one of the original Z Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the guys who's, if you've seen Dogtown and Z Boys, it's a great skating documentary. his current team now, I interviewed them. I'm like, have you guys ever heard of soaps? They're like, yeah, we all started on soaps. So, like,
Wow.
I had some people be really derisive on camera about soaps. They're like, nobody cared about those. Skaters don't care about soaps. But then I interviewed Tony Alva's team, professional skateboarders, and they're like, no, we started on soaps. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Started in the sense of, like, they made the first shoes, or they developed the patents?
Well, I mean, Tony Alva's kids, they started out, before they ever skateboarded, they were soapers. That was their big thing.
Oh, wow.
And until they busted their head or weren't allowed to use soaps anymore by their school, because that happened a lot. And then they eventually moved on to skateboards. But like the kids that the main characters of my movie, they came up with the idea for soaps when they were interviewed by some company, or came up. I can't say soaps. I can say they came up with freestyle walking shoes.
Okay.
So they come out a year later. But like they describe it, they're like, well, we cut out the center of our shoe, we put some PVC in there, we glued it in like real rough, and we made prototypes. I'm like, holy crap! And they like, and I
Wow.
that kind of blew my mind. Yeah.
So these were homemade soap shoes. These were even before the concept 21 professional type ones.
Exactly right. And it was a couple months after that and I've interviewed probably everybody who's involved in officially inventing them. Like it's still like there's a gap of a few months that, you know, it's plausible that somebody heard the idea, got inspired, and didn't realize they took it, or who knows.
Wow. And so did you get to travel around and you met these guys, you did interviews with them, and that's all in the video?
Yeah. It's mostly here in LA just because the first literally like 4 years of the movie we had no money, and when we did get money it wasn't much. But
I see.
Interviewed, luckily 2 of the dudes were in town at just the right time. 2 of the guys who were in the original MTV video, so I got to interview them. But I also interviewed a bunch of longboarders down near San Diego. I interviewed freestyle walkers all around LA, Long Beach, all kinds of like kind of central places. But then in 2012, I got a little bit of Indiegogo money, about $1,200, just enough to fly out to Chicago, interview 3 of the guys of the 4 guys at once, and kind of wrap up the movie that way.
That's a pretty awesome job, like, you know, doing your own thing, getting to travel, making your own hours. That's got to be pretty cool.
It was like, it's one of my favorite experiences of all time, and I wish I'd have known at the time how big of a group of soapers there are in Australia, because like kind of like those are kind of the ultimate. It's interesting that there is such a group of soapers in Australia, because there's one part of the movie where one of the guys in the MTV video said, well, you know, freestyle walking was catching on. A friend of mine visited Australia and said they're freestyle walking everywhere. And I wish I'd had proof of that when I was cutting the movie together, because now I know that like they weren't full of crap, you know?
It's interesting, the way that it is in Europe and different parts of the world. It seems like some trends start somewhere and it could take 10 and 20 years to catch on. My kids are in England, and I was asking them if they'd ever heard of soap shoes. They didn't have a clue. And then when I mentioned Heelys, they're like, yeah, I think those just came out over here. And this was, you know, this is just a couple months ago. And I was like, you know, those are 15 years old. They didn't just come out.
That's crazy. So fun.
Which was, it was a trip. But I know that, I think when we first met, it was 2012 or 2013, and I had happened to just be on vacation in California that week, and then I got your email. I know we did a quick interview when I was at my mom's house. Yeah. So, and I still didn't know a lot about the product, but then I saw the rough cut that you had sent me, and it's got some interviews with, I think I saw Ben Kelly on there, who was the head of research and development. Chris Morris, saw him on there, who was the CEO of Soap Shoes, and then I saw a lot of these, the first guys, some teens, and some other skateboarders who had started freestyle walking. So, like, I guess it's an interesting project. I mean, there's, you know, I got into it because of rollerblading. Yeah. I hadn't heard of freestyle walking, but when I was just, my mind was warped when I was skating, you know, and if I wasn't skating, if I was sitting at home, I remember this one time, my friend Danny and I were just sitting in our socks, and we were just jumping up and sliding on the side of my bed, because we were like, you know, it was past curfew, we couldn't go out, but we wanted to skate, and like we were just addicted to that. And then I'd be with other friends at school, and before there were soaps, I would climb up on the rail and I would either slide down on my ass or I'd slide down like in a sidewalk like position.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, yeah, I can't wait till after school. And then when these shoes came out, it was like jaw dropping,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too, is like interviewing all these different people, like regardless of if they're soapers or even in some cases, some people freestyle walkers. Most of them did soaps. But what's funny, too, is interviewing a few freestyle walkers. They're like, no, that's not pure freestyle walking, dude. I won't do soaps. I'm like, really? That kind of blew my mind. But like, yeah, like really desperately wanting that kind of freedom and kind of being able to hide it. Like, I mean, I know you had the shoes with the stash plate too. Like, you could just hide that you had these awesome shoes and then just bust them out whenever you wanted to. Like, that's kind of, I didn't appreciate that when I first started making the movie.
I see.
And when I started recording it, I'm like, this is kind of amazing. Like, people love doing this for this, just to kind of break out of their urban environment, even if they're stuck in it.
So you're saying that there are like hardcore freestyle walkers out there?
Yeah, there are. I would say that like they're less prevalent than the soapers though. Like there were more. Some of the guys I interviewed, they're like, well, I used to freestyle walk, and when I did it, wasn't into soaps or whatever. But I would say like because soaps are a thing, and because they unfortunately don't make them anymore, like I feel like that's got a little more core group to it.
Okay. How do you think that parkour ties into all this?
I think that while parkour is, and we do talk about it a little bit in the movie, I interviewed a lot of parkour guys too because they're obviously similar. Even though it's technically started in the late 60s or early 70s, I honestly don't think it would have been as popular without the freestyle walking video and then eventually without soaps being a multi-million-dollar thing. I mean, like that kind of escalated it in two ways,
I see. So it's like, it's kind of branched out. So, I mean, do you see these as like individual sports of their own? I've always seen them as somewhat interrelated because, well, when I was sponsored by Soap, I would do parkour tricks, but they wouldn't include those in the videos. A lot of that stuff got cut. Danny and I were filming one time, and I did a backflip off of a 2-story building, and when we went and turned it in, and we also did some synchronized soap where we both, did synchronized backslides down some rails, and they were, and then I did one where he was laying under the rail, and I would royal the rail and then misty flip off at the end of the rail, and they cut all those out of the videos, saying that Soap didn't want to be associated with that, and you guys are welcome to do those activities on your own, but we're not going to endorse that. Okay. And I was always, I guess, an enthusiast to merge parkour and soaping, and I don't think I ever considered myself a freestyle walker, and then except I would be associated with that at school when they're like, oh yeah, he's like a freestyle walker or something. I was like, well, I'm a soaper, but I don't know.
Right.
Now, go ahead.
In different ways, like freestyle walking. Some people, the first dude I interviewed for the whole thing, he broke it down that freestyle walking covers everything. And freestyle walking is either skateboarding without a skateboard, or soaping, or parkour / free running. He took freestyle walking to encompass all of it.
Okay.
I actually think that makes sense. Even though freestyle walking as just a thing on its own, especially the way you see it on MTV, there's no form to it. There's no style at all. It's just do whatever the hell you want.
Just freedom.
Exactly. But soaps limit you just enough to where you've like, I have to make a trick in a certain way. I've got these shoes that I'm going to use for, which I think is awesome. And parkour, very specific as to like, we're getting from point A to point B to point C. We're doing it in this creative way, et cetera, et cetera. And it looks really smooth and awesome. Whereas, again, freestyle walking just on its own is really goofy and weird, which is awesome. I love it. I used to think it was really dumb, but you interview enough people who love it as much as they do, and you kind of get a passion for it.
So you're saying that freestyle walking is like the umbrella of the genre, and then it encompasses itself, freestyle walking, soap shoes, parkour, and any other elements in between?
Yeah, I think so.
I like that. That makes sense. I could agree with that. I read a lot of philosophies on the parkour. Yeah, like you said, I want to move my body from point A to point B with either like the least level of resistance, or I want to maybe give myself a challenge and say, you know what, like I don't just want to walk down this street or to that guy's house. to like be creative, like you said. I want to backflip over this fence, and then I want to do like a little vault over the picnic table, and then walk through his backyard and get to the door or something. And it's more like it was just a way that you're moving through life. I guess the same way when I'm soaping, that's just the way that I move through life. And if I'm walking from home to work, like going out sessioning with the guys, it feels like I'm practicing the tricks. But then in my normal life, like if I just get up right now and I walk from my house to the mailbox, I might feel like doing a backside on this curb, and then I walk over here and jump over something, and then I get my mail and I come back, and that's just the way that I move through life. But it's kind of weird because with soap shoes, I noticed that they're not necessarily running shoes. They're more firm on the bottom, and a lot of parkour moves I just prefer not to do in soaps. I need different shoes to do parkour. I was jumping over some boxes at the college, and it's like I wanted to jump from box to box and then do a grind, but the way that the boxes were set up, it was kind of weird to the way I had to run and jump, and it's like I don't want to do that in soaps. I kind of wish that they had made soaps that were more like Nikes, that were more form-fitting, maybe more flexible or something.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered, since I've never put a pair on, like how hard those bottoms are. Like you don't have a whole lot of movement freedom.
Yeah, it's like they're good for walking short distances, basically like 10 steps up to the rail, grinding, and then coming off. And sometimes it gets a little clunky because when you're still learning, when you don't have the fluidity, like you jump off, and I know a lot of skateboarders and even some bladers would make fun of soaping because they say when you come off, it just looks awkward because the guy's like, you walk off and it looks all clumsy until you actually learn how to absorb and keep going with it.
Yeah, I mean, you ask anybody, like even a gymnast, man, like the hardest part of that thing is the landing. Like if you can't stick a landing, it's going to look weird.
Yeah. Where do you see the future of this going? Do you see like a comeback? I could see this movie making a lot of impact, and I know that the underground community seems to be growing every day. This guy, I was surprised last month I did an interview with Derek Brooks, who's the creator of Solid Grind, and really the mainstream hadn't heard from him since 2008, and then he popped up and made a Solid Grind app, which was pretty cool. It kind of felt like it was the first time soap shoes was brought into 2015, into modern day.
Yeah. I honestly see the potential for a resurgence. That's one of the things I actually asked a lot of people. And most of the people were willing to leave freestyle walking and soaps in the past, but that's because they weren't doing it anymore. At the time, I don't think I was necessarily even aware that the soaping community was as kind of like thick as you guys are now, which I think is awesome. And it's something that kind of, if we get a little more money to finish the movie the way it's done, but there's a few more things I'd like to do. That's one other thing I'd like to cover. It honestly would be to like cover a bunch of soap first, getting together. But I think there is the potential. I'm hoping my movie can help like initiate some interest in it. I mean, the name of the brand is in the actual title of the movie, so I would hope that would help as well. And I think, and I don't know the best way to do this, and I've been trying to figure this out. Like I feel like you guys kind of getting together as a group and expressing how much you desperately want to still do this, and the fact that you could make it a viable business by purchase. I mean, you guys are still buying. People are still buying soaps. Yeah, they're used, but like if they were brand new, I think you guys could buy them again, and you could they could find a new audience.
Right.
There's the same kind of boredom that affected us when we were teenagers is affecting people now.
Absolutely.
So I give something else to do, and it's positive. It's super positive, and I'm sure I definitely think it kept some people off the streets. Like kept them on the streets, but kept them off the bad part of the streets, I feel
that. The other day, I actually they had I found a new skate park called like JC Skate Park or something up in close to North Vegas or whatever. So I went over there and I sat down, and I'm in the middle of the park, and I'm wearing Nikes because I didn't want to walk that far of a distance in soaps. And then I start swapping out, and they're thinking like, what's he pulling out of his backpack? Those aren't rollerblades. It's like he's just changing shoes. And all of a sudden I drew this little crowd, and there's all these little kids that are like, what are those? And I was like, these are called soap shoes. And I started, excuse me, I started explaining them. I started explaining these shoes, and they're like, "Oh, where do I get these?" And I was like, "Well, these are $600 on eBay if you can find them. You might find some in your size because you're a lot younger, and it's easier to find size 3s and size 5s and size 11s."
That's true. Like that's the thing too. Is like I wouldn't be able to soap for shit if I even tried. But I still kind of want to try. Like anytime I go, to a thrift store or anywhere around here, every time I look, regardless of what I'm looking for, because I like to buy old cassette players and stuff so that I can rip my old cassettes and stuff. Every time I'm looking around, the first thing I do is go to the shoe section just in case. But I never find them. You can only get those things on eBay, and they're usually super expensive.
Right.
I get outbid every time, and oh man, it's rough. I've got I've got a grown-up size. You can find them in kid size, like you say, really easy.
The other day was kind of interesting. I'll have to give a special shout out to Jersey, Joe Richter, and so I had bought a pair of yellow ordnaments off of Greg in Australia, and recently I just blew through them because I've been filming this new soap DVD called Soap Shoes 101 Back to the Basics, and showing it's more like a vlog type video, kind of showing the guys the tricks and how they can do them. And after so much grinding, the shoes just kind of blew apart. And this guy Jersey, who's in the soap shoe community, hit me up, and he's like, "By the way, I have an extra pair of soaps in size 11 if you want them." And he mailed them to me, and fuck, on eBay they would have been like $600, and they showed up on my doorstep. He's like, "Merry Christmas, bro, here you go." So that's kind of cool. That's keeping me going. And they become hard to come by, but it is kind of crazy just from going out to the skate parks and seeing the response. And the kids today, the generation today, they've never heard of them, so it's brand new. And I think it would, I don't know, whoever picked it up would make a lot of money just overnight, quick, boom.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, if you found another brand to work it into the way, it didn't work when they integrated it with Sonic, I don't think. But if you got something the equivalent of Sonic but a lot bigger now,
right,
some character to wear soap shoes, I feel like it would be, because do they even? Okay, here's a question for you. Do Heelys still even? I know that they bought the grind plate for Heelys, but do Heelys use the grind plate at all?
I haven't even seen Heelys because Heelys got bought out by this S something. I forget the name of the group.
The other day, I just called them and left them a voicemail the other day, and I can't remember the name of them either. But yeah, they're kind of a generically named.
Yeah, like they own the patent now, but they have never released it. But it's kind of interesting. Everything has changed. It's not just rollerbladers and skateboarders at the park. In Las Vegas, I think the two big parks here are JC and Craig Ranch, and they're both the majority of the kids there are on Razor scooters. Really? So when I walk into the park, I'm like, this is not a skate park that I remember from the '90s. This is and even in Jordan Jones, she's this new she's like a 11-year-old rapper. She's on that show Dance Moms, and even in her music video, it's her and 5 of her girlfriends, and they roll up riding Razor scooters, and they're rapping, and I'm almost like, wow, this is a new age, which is crazy because that wouldn't have been accepted in the '90s because they would have been like, oh, Razors, what, just when I would roll through with soap shoes, it didn't matter, I could be like, yeah, I'm the best at soap shoes, and that's like the equivalent of being the best, hopscotch or best yo-yo player,
Yeah. That's how some people look at it. It's weird.
So, I don't know. Times have changed, and it is it's exciting. I think it's cool. But, going back to your movie, what would you say that maybe your favorite experiences or memories would be of creating this?
Wow, that's rough. Like I said, it took 6 years to shoot the whole thing. Anytime I got a new piece of information that actually kind of blew my mind was great, but honestly, going out to Chicago was the best part, because I used to live in Chicago, like I said, for a couple of years, but going out there to meet these guys who created it, and they're all my age, they're all in their 30s, and meeting them, and they all have their own story of their own version of creating freestyle walking, coming up with the name, and coming up with the shoes. All three dudes thought they came up with the prototype and built it themselves, basically. And so, like, you had these different conflicting reports that were kind of funny. But, like, meeting these guys, getting very close with them, and getting close with other people, like who's Soap. Like, even though I didn't, we actually had some interviews, too, in New York. Rennie Castillo did one of my favorite interviews of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was years ago. And I never got to meet him because I didn't actually fly out there. My buddy Ray actually recorded that for me.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite experiences, is him sending the tapes back and me watching. Like, I did not know, at that point, until Rennie, I didn't know there was anybody who loves soaps that much still. And that was what made me realize, oh, this movie is worth it, you know?
No, Rennie, yeah. Yeah, I think someone named him number one soap fan or something like that in the world.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. And I remember he was writing letters back in '99 and 2006, even, you know, years after I was off soap, and, you know, I'd still get stuff from him asking, when's the next soap video coming out? You know, hey, I got these new shoes, whatever. And it's like,
Right.
and that was years after I wasn't, you know, even on the team anymore. So that was pretty cool to see some love still out there.
Yeah. That's another thing, too, is, like, I would like there to be a comeback simply because it would be really cool to see a team. It would be really cool to see, like, the old guys get together, like, the old group just get back together,
Mm-hmm.
and then also see, like, who you guys would pick as a new team. Like, and that would be kind of fun. You know what I mean? That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's definitely some talent out there on the street. You get some interesting videos, and Brendan came out here. He's on a tour with the UFC. He does, you know, videography and video editing for them, and I think he went up to Canada and New York and Europe. And when he came back through Vegas a couple months ago, we went out soaping at the MGM, and we got kicked out in about 15 minutes, and nothing new there. But he was still busting out. He had some scorchers with the red plates, and he was doing little backside Farfignugens, and then he fast slid some rail, and we were grinding out down there. And it just reminded me, because I got to hit him up and get some of the pictures from that, post that shit. But
He's another guy I really want to interview. There's a lot of you guys that I want to interview. Ideally, like, I wanted to have a group of soap guys together the same way I had the freestyle walking guys together, you know, all in a group, getting, you know, talking that stuff over. Maybe we'll be able to arrange that sometime.
that would be badass. What do you think is the ultimate goal there of freestyle walking? For me, I kind of see it as, like, if I would do that sometimes, it was almost like a cardio exercise. It was really hardcore cardio.
Right.
Sometimes it was just fun because, you know, with skating, you're kind of restricted to the obstacles that you're, you know, in your immediate environment. And with soaps or with freestyle walking, I could grind on things, or I could do stunts off of objects that I wasn't normally allowed to do. Like if I went to, you know, Disneyland or Magic Mountain, I could, you know, we used to grind on the rails in there. We'd pay the entrance fee into the park, you know, take the bus down there, and we'd only ride a couple rides, and then we'd go grind the rails that, you know, you can't really bring your skates through the gate of Magic Mountain, because, you know, you can get arrested.
Yeah.
But or like when I was camping, you know, I've always found rails that were like on the sides of cliffs at Yosemite, and I used to go up to like Crystal Cave, and, you know, I didn't bring my skates with me camping on the dirt, but there was like little logs that I wanted to jump off of and do 360s, and we'd go hiking up whatever that is, Half Dome or whatever, or there's like there's some hike over there with these little wood rails, and I would soap them, and, you know, that was kind of cool. I felt that was, you know, an element of the sport that should have been brought more mainstream, but, you know, it seemed like soap at the time was more trying to just, let's put them in a little box and copy what inline's doing, so let's just session handrail, session curves, ledges, and planners.
Yeah, they
and
kind of treated it, I can see, like, them sort of treating it like skates without wheels, which, like, you know, it's way more flexible than that.
I hope that I like what I'd like to see if there was a comeback that all these different aspects would be added into it. I was sessioning some rail. There's these living in Las Vegas, all the hotels, they have these parking structures that are like, 10 stories up, and they have some rails that are not the one on the outside. I'm not gonna try that shit, but there is one there's like an outside, then there's an inside rail, but it's still like even doing that one. I was handing up going down it, and it was kind of frightening because even just 5 feet away, if I slip, that's a 10-story drop. But I was like, there is a next level of evolution to this, and I just thought it would be kind of cool. It's like, what if I'm busting this out and we get instead of a jib, get like a helicopter shot, maybe get 30 motherfuckers that are surrounding the rail, and we get some hot soap cheerleaders, and I don't know, make a big party out of it, just really take it to the next level. But that's
Have you ever found? Are there any spiral parking or parking garages with a spiral exit? Are there ever anything with rail going down the whole way? I don't know if that exists.
It's got to somewhere. I haven't seen it myself. There was a cool, we used to call them an S rail. That
oh yeah.
There's a couple of those in L.A. I think Brennan hits one in his movie 2. Mm-hmm. Those are pretty fun. There was this slide. It was like a slide on a playground that would go down in a spiral, and you could jump onto the top. And
oh yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome.
I think I did it in rollerblades too. I did like a soul grind, oversoul or something. Mm-hmm. It's just for fun, It's not something you could roll up to, but it's sometimes it's just for fun. I don't necessarily do everything for the camera. Sometimes I just go out and enjoy grinding.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, and that's the other thing too in the movie is the big thing about the movie that I don't think I realized and at first, and my buddy Ray, who is my other producer and kind of helped me formulate the whole thing. Once he realized that soaping and freestyle walking is about making and keeping friends more than anything, that kind of helped make this thing come together. And it was really nice seeing people who just made friends or kept friends just from doing this one seemingly really silly thing. But it turns out to be a lot less silly when you see how much people love it and the kind of friendships they have. Awesome.
I feel that. Yeah, sometimes it's I could be with a buddy of mine who soaps, and we're driving down the street. We could both. There's no talking. It's like telepathy, but we could see a ledge or a rail or some construction site and we just kind of look at each other and have that look oh man, if I had some soaps right now, we'd have to go bust that. Have to, but without words, and that's that connection. I think is pretty badass.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have any advice for just from hearing all these other freestyle walking gurus? Any secret tips and tricks that
oh man,
that you could share?
Jeez, that's the thing is I don't know how much of the actual technical stuff we ever got into because it was always more what's your personal experience with it. I feel like if anybody gave us a list of tricks, trying to think, you gave us probably the biggest list of tricks on camera. You and Rennie were the two guys, and holy crap, that's a loaded question, man. I don't know. I since I don't do it myself, I wouldn't be able to remember any good advice, which I'm sure we were given plenty on camera. But.
No worries. If the guys at home, actually, first, when this movie comes out, where can the guys go online to either buy a copy or instant download, or however you're going to be marketing that, or is it going to be silver screen?
That's what we're waiting to find out right now. We're talking with a bunch of different distributors and stuff, and the big issue that they're having is they kind of want proof. They want proof that, hey, there's an audience out there. I know there's an audience out there. Mm-hmm. The rest of us who made the film, they get it because we've interviewed people, but since these distributors are I don't know what freestyle walking is, I don't know what soaps are, my answer would be, well, watch the rest of the damn movie so that you get it. But,
for sure.
But so, the big thing right now is we have to prove that there's an audience, but the goal is at least do a very small run in theaters. We kind of want to do a tour of the movie, taking it around either to college campuses or what have you. And then eventually a DVD release, actually hopefully a Blu-ray release as well, and then online stuff too, because it would be stupid to not have it online at this point.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
There's a trailer out there that it's kind of an old trailer, but if you look up Lords of Soaptown on YouTube, you can see that trailer at least. It's a bit old. It doesn't have everything in it, and doesn't have all the twists and turns of the movie, but it gives you an idea.
Okay, Lords of Soaptown, keyword on YouTube, no problem. I can definitely attest that there's an audience out there.
Yeah.
I have a video that I put up. On YouTube is just it's basically just me grinding around with some little Star Trek song, and that has 91,000 views now.
That's awesome.
Derek Brooks has one that is an old, it's the holiday soap promo video from '99. That has like 350,000 views now.
Awesome.
And then there's kids putting new material up all the time. So
Yeah.
I can definitely confirm to anyone that there is an audience out there. It may not be necessarily in the millions. I'm sure that it would be if, you know, you put it in the hands of one of like these teen pop stars or
Right.
a professional athlete or whatever, and just, I can see it blowing up overnight. I think Tony Hawk even did some new video where I don't know what he does. He's on a board and he does some little grind on a half pipe on him. So,
Okay. Well, and the other thing too is like that's one other thing is if we can get some kind of sponsorship for the movie, that would also help blow it up, because even if it's not soaps, we'd love for it to be soaps.
Okay. So you're definitely looking for like sponsors, anyone who's gonna be willing to put up money, back you up on this.
Yeah, because
For sure.
I mean, like we went to our audience. We got it was a small audience at the time, so we only got the $1,200 just to, because I wasn't asking for a lot, just enough to go to Chicago. But now, like that's when the hammer's coming down. So like, because I know the soap world, and there's one company that ever made soaps.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anybody out there, honestly, who's got suggestions as to like a small, but that's got enough money, a small like a skate shoe company even, that would be willing to do something with it, that'd be great.
That'd be cool.
If they underwrite the movie, that would help us. People would see it.
For sure. And you've put a substantial amount of time, effort, money into this yourself as well. 6 years. That's quite a
over 6 years
commitment.
Exactly. I mean, that equates to thousands of hours of work, which essentially is tens, 20, maybe $100,000 of money.
For sure. You heard it, guys. Donate. All right.
Yeah, right.
If any of any companies out there are watching this, how would they be able to contact you to possibly donate and help this project come into reality?
I think the easiest way is if you can either email me. It's jclamm, first initial, last name, JKLAMM @stolendress.com. Or just go to my website, my production company's website, stolendress.com, where you can find, or lordsofsoaptown.com has the basics, but you'll find all my contact information on stolendress.com. And yeah, we invite people to hit us up that way. Okay,
definitely. For you guys out there, I'm going to definitely put that in the down bar below, so make sure that you copy and paste that. And how about if anyone wants to call you up and have questions, shoot the shit, is there a special email for that?
Yeah, I mean, do the same email. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely do that. That'd be fine, yeah.
Same one that Jason...
Yeah, jclamm @stolendress.com.
jclamm
@stolendress.com.
Stolen Dress.
Mm-hmm. That's my production company, Stolen Dress Entertainment. STOLENDRESS.
Excellent. Well, Jason, it's been a pleasure. Definitely looking forward to checking this out, and I know that there's a lot of guys out there that are behind you on this project, and the whole community is looking forward to this. I think it's this is a really good thing. So
yeah, no, and thanks for taking the time. And honestly, there's a lot of people, a lot of you guys out there who are watching have been supportive and have already contacted me, and that's fucking awesome. That's really incredibly cool. And I do appreciate all your guys' support.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, it's your boy Ryan J. We're out of here. Thank you, Jason Klom. Got it right there with the Klom. We'll see you guys next month. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments below. And we'll see you next month, fellas. Peace. Hey, what's up, Soapers? It's your boy Ryan J. This month we got a very special episode. You requested it. Here he is, the man. This is my friend, Pro Soaper, Danny Lynch. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm not pro soaping anymore.
Yeah? How's life?
Just living the dream.
I see best dad ever.
Yeah. That's me.
You have a new daughter
Best dad
now.
ever. That's right. She's 2 years old.
Oh shit!
I'm changing diapers. All that good stuff.
Life changes. Wow, you got your wifey right there, right?
No, she's gone.
Oh, so
Didn't
it's guy time now.
She didn't want to be on the show.
Oh, what's up with that?
Who watches this show?
Yo, so Soap
Is
community,
this a YouTube
man.
show?
This is YouTube, DVD, Amazon.com, iTunes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Everything, bro. We're doing it big, man. Basically, a lot of people have been asking about you specifically, actually. You know, they're like, that guy Danny Lynch from the Relate Video Productions, and so I wanted to get you on the show and kind of see what's going on in life, and actually, the main thing is seeing if we can kind of jump in the DeLorean and time travel back to 1996 and find out, you know, how did you get involved with this? I know you used to be a pro rollerblader before soap. Like, how did you get into that?
I wasn't really a pro rollerblader, but we did go around and skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do.
Didn't you tell people the whole story in your book?
Well, the book is actually just now hitting the shelf, so not everyone has got a chance to read that. We got the audio book coming up on.
Well,
YouTube
I bought the book on Amazon.
Yeah, I got your.
I bought it on my Kindle.
That's tight. I got your text from that.
And you know, the first couple chapters were awesome because I was in it. And that is basically the story you told was exactly the story. I don't even know how you have that good of a memory.
Yeah, I have all those home videos that we've been making since we're 8 years old.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Alonzo Vargas came up to me and said, "Hey, you want these shoes?"
Okay.
And I went down to Concept 21 and got them.
Oh shit.
And then he only gave me one pair. So the first day we had them, I wore one shoe on my left foot, and then I think like Brendan and Ryan Smith wore like the other one, and then we were doing backslides all day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, at Costa.
How did you initially run into this dude?
I knew him from school.
Okay.
He was a surfer. He was a surfer from school. And there was only like 4 rollerbladers at the school, so he knew that we would probably enjoy these shoes.
Okay. And then, how did that turn into like getting sponsored by soap?
Well, we weren't really like. I guess we were sponsored, kinda. They didn't pay us that much at first, but then they started giving us a lot more money.
Yeah.
When we went on the tour.
That's right. You were touring across like the Midwest, right?
Yeah, well, there was 2 tours. One tour was on the West Coast, and that was me, and then the other tour was on the East Coast. That was Paul. And then, Paul, he crashed the van.
No shit. Uh-oh. We got some drama going down.
So I had to go over. They dropped the West Coast tour, then we had to go over to the East Coast, and that's how I got over to the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't read it right there. I got to put a little.
You can't? I need a Sharpie.
Yes.
Crap. Here, hold on.
Paul is gay. Where is Paul these days?
I could double FaceTime him.
Oh, wow.
We should FaceTime. I'll get Paul right here.
That would be pretty tight.
Let me see if I can get Paul on the computer. Nah, he won't even answer because he's probably busy being hungover.
Yeah?
That's all Paul does. See? That's why he crashed the van initially, because he was drinking.
Like I said, Soapers, we're, out of all the aggressive sports, we're the guys that, we party a little harder. I think we're a little more crazy, We can't even walk normal. We have to grind on shit.
Yeah. I mean, we're the best.
Fair enough. Speaking of being the best, so here you are.
Yeah, speaking of being the best.
Yeah, so you're like 18, 19 years old. You're touring the country, soap van. You've got an international fan base. Like, how does that feel to be the best soaper? Just doing it.
Well, it felt pretty good because I knew nobody could top me in any trick.
Oh shit.
On any rail, I could do it all.
Nice.
I mean, in Avenue Zero, when you did it on the video, I had done it prior 8 times in a row.
And you hit
that nobody knew about because I didn't film it.
You hit the. I remember you hit the double heart attack when we were at Costa, and
I think you did first. No, I think Brendan might have first.
Did he? I didn't even know Brendan hit that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think Brendan did it first. He did that heart attack, I think, first.
Wow. I remember we were there, and
Brendan was pretty good.
Yeah, Brendan. He busted out.
I can't get Paul on the line. I was seeing if I could get you a double interview at the same time.
That would be dope. A lot of people have been asking about him. I got an email recently. They said Paul was his favorite soaper.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Said he's got the ill style or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Paul has the ill style, huh?
That's what I heard. That's the word on the streets.
Paul the ill style. Yeah, let's see about that. Yeah, he does have pretty good style.
Do you have any other interesting memories on tour?
Yeah, I had a little black book. And I say, because we toured, I went to 46 different states.
Oh, wow.
And it had a little black book with numbers in it. And I lost that black book, and then some of the girls I met, I wish I would have been able to hook up with them, but I never could. Again, because I lost that little black book.
Man.
One chick, when we were at the X Games in San Francisco, came up to me, this fat chick, came up to me, she's like, my friend thinks you're the hottest guy she's ever seen. And I'm like, all right, where's your friend, fatty? So she points over to her friend, and she's freaking hot. And that was pretty awesome. Then I hooked up with her a couple times on the trip.
Okay.
And then another time, we were in Idaho, and these 2 chicks came up. We did was from Seattle to New Jersey nonstop. We were in Seattle when Paul crashed the van. Drove from Seattle all the way to New Jersey nonstop. We did it in 3 days, popping mini fins.
Wow.
And we didn't wash the van. We let the bugs build up, and they were about 1 inch thick by the time we got to New Jersey. Partied at the Jersey Shore. And then, I don't know. That tour was pretty fun.
That was in, 2001 then?
Yeah, 2001.
Okay.
And now here we are in 2015.
What were like some of the major cities that you went through?
Every one, almost. Well, the best time was when the best one was Miami when we got South Beach.
Wow.
I got a 2-week vacation anywhere I wanted, and as soon as we got to South Beach, I was like, okay, I want my vacation.
Perfect. Like what would you say you were doing necessarily, like when you're touring and you're setting up at these trade shows, like what was kind of the daily grind in a way?
Well, we parked the van, bust out the rails, and let kids try on the shoes.
Okay.
And then that was it. And then we soaped it up.
Just hanging out, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And then recently I've just been chilling. I have one pair of soaps left.
Oh yeah?
When I just moved up here, I cleaned out my garage. I have a box of stickers. I just threw out like 15, 20 grind plates. They were brand new, still in the boxes. I just threw them out.
Man.
I had, what else? I have a pair of blue cleans. That's my last pair. I found one broadside from the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't find the other broadside. So I just threw out my one broadside. I kept a pair of cleans and like a little box of stickers. I have a poster and I have all the videos, and that's all I have left.
Oh shit! I just saw your other video. The Big O is on Derek Brooks' new app, Solid Grind. So that was pretty cool to see, and I'd actually never seen that video before. And then I seen you in the Teletubby costume, and I was like, oh, that has to be Danny. Like, what the fuck?
That was me.
That was a dope ass video.
Yeah, that was fun. We shot that with Todd.
Oh shit, Todd Grossman.
And Ben.
I never see these guys anymore. Ben Kelly.
I don't even know where they went. Brendan's like doing, I don't know what Brendan's doing. He's doing like videos. He lives in Norco.
Yeah, I seen him recently. We went soaping at the MGM. I guess he's on the tour with the UFC. And then we got kicked out of the MGM Grand. He was busting some fast slides on the rail right in the front there.
Brendan?
Yeah. He has some he's got some scorchers and shit. But he was busting some little Farfig Nugans. But then he's like
I think Brendan saved a lot of stuff.
Right?
He saved a lot of stuff, I think.
He's got a bunch of shoes. You know those shoes are selling for like up to $1,200 now on eBay?
Which ones?
Any ones.
No.
I got these ordnance right here, fucking $600.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. We never paid for it. I came home one day, I had like over 200 pairs of shoes at one point, and my mom was selling them at a garage sale for $2 a piece, brand new out of the box.
Oh, we know everyone in Australia right now is like, what? $2?
Yeah, brand new, out of the box, all of them.
Dude, you'd be rich right now if you had all those shoes.
Well, I didn't think they'd be worth any money.
I know, right?
I didn't want to sell them, but my mom was.
Yeah.
It's like you have too many boxes of soaps.
Your mom was crazy, like always carting us around and shit to go soap everywhere through LA. It was good times.
My mom's actually here. She came to visit.
Oh shit.
Did I get her on the interview?
Yeah. Of course.
All right, hold on. Hey, Mom. Ryan wants to say hi. She can't wait to see you. All right, hold on. Mom, remember when you were selling all my soaps at the garage sale for $2 a piece?
Hello.
Yeah. Marianne, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Here.
I can't see you. I got to duck down a little bit.
Duck down. Okay, here I am.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for being on.
But we're on a show.
Oh, I'm on the show now?
We got to let you know. If we're talking soap, and Danny says you used to sell these shoes at the garage sale for $2 a piece.
Yes, I did. I don't remember that, but if he says I did, I probably did.
Yeah, you did.
So
you sold my BMX for $20.
Damn, BMX. So those $2 shoes are selling for about $1,200 a piece on eBay now.
Yeah.
Are they really?
This pair right here was $600.
I've never paid for a pair of soaps in my life.
I guess I should have saved those, huh?
Yeah, he said he had over 200 pairs, so that would be...
That original soap poster of him.
Yeah, I have an original soap poster.
Oh, you still got it?
Yep, in my dad's garage.
Nice.
Yeah, we got one. I think one or two.
Just one that I know. How much would that go for? With an original soaper.
Yeah,
oh, man.
with my signature.
Yeah.
That could be a lot. I don't even know.
Well, let me know, because I want to sell it.
Oh, yeah, that's my only one.
Oh, you'll have to talk to the collector on that. I think he,
Stepped out.
yeah, makes the prices now.
That's the collector.
Yeah, there's a guy named Greg Krellin in Australia. They call him the collector.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the man.
Talk to him.
I have pictures of me leaving the soap for the first time in the soap van pulling up to my house.
Really?
That's got to be worth something, too.
Yeah.
We can blow that up.
Do it.
The collector. Well, you told me you put that in the museum.
Yeah.
A hall of soap.
That's right. That's right.
So how's your mom?
My mom is, she's doing good. She's still in Cali.
El Segundo?
Yeah, same spot.
Oh, is she in the apartments?
Yeah.
What about your brother?
He is living up in Lake Tahoe.
Randall?
Yeah, he's closer to where you're at. He's married. He has he's got he just had twins actually.
Really?
No way.
He's got a boy and a girl
Oh.
with his wife, but he goes on a ship and he does that. I don't know, he goes out on a ship for like 6 months and makes a bunch of money and then comes back and chills.
Longshoreman or a longshore? No.
Wait, what does he catch? Crab or something?
I don't think he does anything because he's like an officer on the ship now.
Oh, he's a
really?
He's a merchant marine.
I don't know his official title actually because he tells motherfuckers what to do now. So
Yeah, he goes out and then he comes back and, well, obviously.
Old Randall, huh?
right.
Well, I'll go visit him maybe when we go to Tahoe.
That his first kids?
Yeah,
Twins, huh? Wow, first ones.
real.
All right, Mom.
Okay.
You're off
Good
the interview.
seeing you. Make sure you get a good price for my...
Thanks, Marianne.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had some soap
My
hats still.
poster.
I don't even have any hats or anything.
Oh, I might be able to get a rubber ducky. What is that worth? Kim has one of
Soap
those.
duckies?
Yeah.
I think a dude
Yeah, we might have
bought
some of
one of those
those.
for $60 or something.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm going to get it back from you.
Get that duck. Get off with those ducks. $60. Dude,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
sell them all.
Damn, that's crazy.
Hold on. Let me shut the door.
For sure.
Jesus, $60 for the rubber duck?
Yeah. Actually, that was just on Facebook. Actually.
Are you serious?
Got to get one of those ducks. Yeah.
You don't have any?
I don't have any ducks right now.
All the ducks I have, they have the nose rings, and they're all rusted out from living so close to the ocean.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's a trip, man. Being one of the best soapers in the world, what would you say, in your experience, for any of the kids that are just getting into it now, what would you suggest to them how they could get good fast?
I would suggest watch our videos, go out, and do some good shit. Like, I want to see some good shit. Like, I've watched soap videos on the internet, and everyone, like, freaking sucks. I haven't seen too many people that really go out there and try. I don't think they really get too into it. But if they really do get into it, I guess it's harder to get as good as we did because we had unlimited access to shoes. So I could go out and ruin a pair of shoes in a day and get a brand new pair the next day and just, I did that for years.
Mm.
These kids, they get one pair of shoes, they spend all their money or whatever on a pair of shoes, and then they don't have, like, when they ruin them or they break them in finally, they can't just go get a new pair like we did. Like, when we went out soaping, we had like 6 pairs.
Right. Yeah,
So
special pair for ledges, for rails, for curves.
Yeah. So how are these kids going to get as good as we were when they don't have unlimited access
And
to shoes?
I notice a lot of them too. They'll buy replacement plates because they think the plates are supposed to stay nice and new. So they go out and grind one day, and when they scratch it, they're like, "Oh, I messed up my plates. Should I replace them?"
Yeah, no, it's not about the plates. You gotta wear the plates down. I mean, I guess I don't know what you could do. You could just keep soaping, get the best. Well, once your shoe starts wearing out, put some duct tape on that thing.
Duct tape works pretty well.
Or glue.
Glue? Did you ever put glue on them?
I don't know what I put in them. I don't know. You got any Maxwell plates?
They have some. They go for about like $35 now.
Yeah, I just threw away like 5 pairs of those.
Damn.
I didn't know all this stuff was. I would have kept it and sent it out to you, or whatever. I didn't know.
Man, be slanging this underground.
I have some stuff back in Manhattan Beach, like it's a little box at my grandma's house.
Oh shit.
I have stickers. I have Relate stickers. Jackson has a bike of Strand Cruiser covered in soap stickers. From the whole thing is covered in soap stickers.
Wow.
Got a coffee table covered in soap stickers.
Oh yeah. I remember that, and it had the crippler on it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The crippler.
I think I was there when you guys were undoing. There's like 400 soap stickers on that.
Yeah, all over it.
What a trip.
There's still a couple soap stickers down in LA that have been there since the beginning. No one's taken them off.
Damn. That's crazy,
Well,
man. All right, player. Well,
hold on. That's the interview?
yeah, do you have anything else you want to add in?
Where can I watch this video at?
This is going to be on youtube.com/The Ryan J Show. And as soon as I burn it to an ISO file, then you'll see it on Amazon.com and iTunes and a lot of other third-party distributors. So yeah, this is actually a series. This is an ongoing series. I think we're on episode 6 or episode 7 right now. Every month we interview some of the top soapers in the world and put all the tips and tricks right here. So basically, if a guy comes in today and he just hears about soap, he can watch all the best guys and then take all your tricks and then just go out on the street and start busting.
Good. Well, hey, any of those people that watch this video and they get back with you, send me their what they write you or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, you guys can always leave all your comments below, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
All right.
If the guys at home want to get a hold of you, what kind of contact information could they use?
I don't have one.
Nothing.
Nothing. I don't have any of that.
All right, guys. If you want to
But hey,
say what's up
if they
to
want
Danny,
to
make sure
contact
to just
me, tell them to contact you, and then you contact me.
yeah, just leave your comments below, and I'm sure he'll check it out.
Down here.
Right there.
Leave your comments right here.
What? That's what's up. All right, guys. This is your boy Ryan J. We'll see you guys next month. Peace. Hey, what's up, soapers out there? It's a new month. Check it out. Soap Shoes Top Secret Interviews. This month, we're going to have a fun show this month. We got Joseph Ricca, a.k.a. Jersey, representing from the East Coast. How you doing, player?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right.
What about Brandon? He's getting into it. Does most of my filming. Dennis. Probably sober.
Brendan and Dennis.
Yep.
Awesome. How did you guys all meet?
Oh, how do we meet? Beer pong. Beer pong, yeah. We used to go play beer pong out at the bars. Yep. And in that way, I've known you for a while. Drinking one way or another. We met through drinking.
I've heard some pretty cool stuff from you guys at home. Like we've been talking for a while. So Jersey is pretty big on living that soap life. And actually, I was wondering if you could explain from your perception, your point of view, what is that soap life? Because I seem to see everyone's kind of got their different perception of the way that they do things. But I noticed you guys hold it down pretty hardcore on the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, we try to go out like as a group as much as we can. If not, I'll just go to practice rail for a while, or I'll walk around town, or see something to start hitting ledges or curves or whatever. Just, anytime, anywhere. As long as I got my silks on, I'm fucking hitting whatever I can.
Nice. I see you guys like partying a lot over there all the time.
Huh?
I see you guys partying a lot of good party pictures on Facebook.
Always. Yeah, got some good. That's how we fell off the roller coaster at one time.
You fell off a roller coaster?
Yeah, well, that's a good one. We got really smashed at a church carnival. Yep. So we started putting soap stickers all over the fucking church. And then they just shut the lights off. And like 2 of us in there, 3 of us. And we're walking past the roller coaster on the way out. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try to grind that. So I jump and climb up on the roller coaster track. Like, as soon as I get my plates on it, fall backwards off it, land on my fucking arm. I'm like, all right, let's go home. Like, just whatever. Try again later.
So you could be the first soaper that ever grinded a roller coaster.
I could have been, but it didn't. It didn't work.
That would be pretty badass.
He was up there, too. He tried to. I think he fell. That's my ass.
What was he doing up there?
He climbed up with me and fell right off, too. Yeah, we have pictures of me and him trying to attempt it.
Oh, Brandon and Dennis, did you guys know about soap shoes before?
Yeah. I didn't. I had no idea. I've never skated or anything like that. Jersey's like, oh, you want to try these? I was like, let's do it. Now, what's the worst that happens?
What was your first initial reaction when you saw these shoes with plastic plates on the bottom?
They seem kind of interesting, but, I was never really that big of a skater, inline skater, or anything like that, so it was a little weird,
so it's completely new.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you guys ever get any crazy reactions when you guys are out?
Yeah. Actually, no. We were at a park. Oh yeah. And it was like the exercise equipment, like they randomly place around, and he's sitting there doing like the rail to the rail, almost like a heart attack drop on. It was like a little train. It was like a foot gap in between the 2 little. I don't know what the hell they were. Like you put your feet underneath them so you could do like crunches or whatever. Mm-hmm. And these people are saying us, and not one of them asked us how he's doing this. All they saw is a guy on sneakers run up and then slide down a rail, and nobody asked us what we were doing or how we were doing it. I had one parent, like, with their, 6-year-old kid, like, are you trying to break an arm? I think they asked me. So they never asked me anything else. We had the kids that's constantly flipping out because we had soap top. Oh, yeah, in the parking lot. Like, I had people want to take pictures of us with our shoes. I haven't seen soap shoes in, 15 fucking years, man. I'm like, yeah, what's our shoes? He's like, a 10. I go, I can get you a pair for $30. Like, no, he was trying to buy Dennis's shoes off his feet. $30. Like, I want them right now.
Right there, slinging soaps on the corner like crack. That's cool.
Yeah.
I see you're rocking the shirt right there.
Yeah, I got the soap shirt on.
Where did that come from? Oh, what is this? What? Very nice. Where did those come from? Is that original throwbacks?
Oh, this one, yeah, I bought this one on Solid Grind from Derek. Like the last one he had. And then I made him that one. And I got the other one that I made. I think it was the other one that I made, I think, right?
I got the white one that you sent me in the mail with the logos it's offset.
The other one I did. That's the one I have at home. That I didn't wear.
Tight.
Yeah. Some interviews, but let's not wear any soap stuff other than the shoes.
You guys got that made at the store?
No, I got a screen print and time machine thing, so I had to do it myself.
Oh, shit. Well, that's fucking tight. Could be making soap shirts all day.
Yeah, it was the only way for me to get a shirt before like Derek put up the solid grind app. I was like, I want a shirt. Can't find one. I gotta make it.
I noticed that you're really into stickering too.
Oh yeah, I brought the box of stickers if you want to see how many I have.
Oh yeah, show and tell, bro.
Those guys.
Guys at home, hold on. Before you show these, Jersey's notorious for what's called stickering. Actually, as you show these off, can you explain that concept?
Well, what I like to do is I like to put a soap sticker over a word that ends in ing. So it would be like, there's like a 24-hour parking time, I would change it to 24-hour soap.
Okay.
Or parking strictly enforced, it would go soaping strictly enforced, like that. Stuff like, and then I'd put them in like highly visible places, like down the store where there's like a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Get people like, you know, from there. Yeah, street signs. Anywhere possible. Pretty much anywhere, but like my favorite thing is to like change the wording of the sign to like make it exclusive for soapers.
So it's like premeditated. You're not just slapping them on. You have a plan of action when you're doing this.
Like Terry Brown with me, and then I'm like, like that would be interesting, and then I'll put it there.
Okay, like an art form. That's cool. We used to do that like back in the day when I was on the Relate team, and we would just go stickering all the time. But we were like, we'd have so many boxes. When Brendan made the Relate stickers, he would make, you know, in bulk. There's like 2,000 at a time, and we just blast them all over the beach. Like, I think Danny still has his coffee table that's like covered with soap stickers and Relate stickers, and it was good times, man.
Yeah. Alright, anyways. Get that? Yeah, it's dark water. Yeah, whatever. Thing will later. I find the collection I have. Oh, look, wait. There's a Healy.
Oh, that's classic. I can't see them so well. You have to put it up closer to the lens.
What?
You have to put it up closer to the lens or to your webcam.
Oh, the Healy's on?
Yeah, I know Greg will want to see this shit.
The Healy sticker. Yeah, I pretty much get drunk and then order like 200 at a time from Derek until he runs out. I think I got the last of the wax, the last of the postcards, the last of the rock. Greg beat everybody with a fucking dog.
Now, going back to the beginning, how did you initially get into this?
Back in middle school, I remember my buddy John had a pair.
What year was that?
I'd say it was 98, maybe 99.
Okay.
We had a pair. We were in gym class. He was just grinding the bleachers, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking awesome!" And they let me borrow the shoes for like a day. I was like, "Sweet." Then I convinced my mom to go buy them for me. We get to the skate shop, like I got them on my feet, and my mother asked the lady that was selling them, "What's so special about these shoes?" And the girl goes, "Oh, they're like rollerblades, but in a shoe." So my mother said that as there's wheels in these things somewhere, and I'm going to trip off the steps, bust my ass, maybe take them off my feet, and put some blackboard. So I had to keep borrowing my friend John for like, I don't even know how long. I borrowed him for like a year or two on and off.
Wait, so she didn't buy them for you at first?
Yeah, like she went by. I was like 12, I think, maybe.
Okay.
12 or 13.
And you never skated or skateboarded before that?
Yeah, no, I had blades.
Okay, you were blading, and then you kind of fell into it.
Yeah. He was okay with the rollerblades, but not the soap dudes for some reason. I have no idea why.
For sure.
I told her the other day, she doesn't remember any of that.
Do you still skate now?
Not as much. I haven't bladed in a while. I got a longboard, kind of cruise around on.
Very cool. I gotta get one of those. I've been seeing this one girl. She longboards all the time, sending Snapchats and shit, just like going down the beach. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. That's like one of my favorite things to do. Like, is cruise down the boardwalk on a longboard, just so relaxing.
I noticed that's getting a lot bigger too. I'm seeing a lot of different sports that are going on now, and it's not just like skateboarding and rollerblading like it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where do you see soaping in the next couple years?
I'm doing the best I can to get it back, man. Taking stickers everywhere. I'm Soapin and fucking. We're trying to put a video together. You know, putting pictures up.
I'm definitely with you on that. Like, I'm starting to see a lot more response through the community. That some kid, Samuel Wong or something like that, made a petition that he made a website for, and he's going to send it to Sequential Brands Group.
Yeah,
so I was like,
I think I found that. I mean, in my opinion, they're sitting on a fucking gold mine. Like, you know, the 90s are making the comeback now. You know, Denko's coming back like this fall. They got fucking Wide Lake games coming out. Like,
I saw that. Didn't Jinko do that thing on YouTube where it's like how kids react? And then
yeah, that. So many people post that to my wall. No one knows what they are. now's the best time to have a pair of Jenkos because it's the only jeans you can put an iPad in your back pocket with. Like, didn't really need them in the 90s. Totally can fucking use them right now.
For sure.
You can put anything in them.
If you have any advice, you know, for anyone starting out, like I noticed that you're starting to, your tricks, you know, like your skill is, you stepped up your game like over the last couple months. I've just seen like some posts. First you're doing some front sides. I saw you bust in on a fast slide, or it looked like a suicide the other day, and I saw, what else were you were busting out? You put quite a few tricks out.
Good job, man. Cheese grater, I think I was doing.
That's right. Cheese grater.
I don't even know what that trick's called anymore, man. Yeah, fucking lights sometime. Yeah, you saw that picture, right?
Yeah.
On the top ledge, he was on the bottom ledge.
So you're doing a little synchronized soaping right there. I like it.
Had to. I mean, like, you know, you gotta like put some kind of style into it. You're gonna put a video out. Nobody wants to see you sliding on the rails by yourself, seeing tricks over and over again.
So like, not just sessioning handrails. You want to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. You know, get a good amount of ride in there to keep people watching.
What else would you recommend? What else would you like to see more of out there? I've seen some people want to mix it with parkour, with free running, with freestyle walking. Some people, like you said, they do a lot of handrail sessioning.
I mean, rails are like my personal favorite thing, I guess. I'm not really like into the parkour, I guess, per se, but I mean, I think it'd be cool to see a bunch of kids just get out there and soap it up, man, hit whatever. Hit anything you can while you got your soap on, just put anywhere you are. You can, like, I can drive this, I can hit this, and put a line together.
Okay. What do you guys got going on out there in Jersey on the East Coast altogether? Like, what kind of obstacles and rails and things do you have to slide on out there?
Rails, we got a lot of. And I didn't really notice it so much until I bought my first pair last summer. How many rails we actually have. And, like, down in Asbury Park, there's like a double. I don't know if it's a double or a single. There's a pretty solid heart attack. There's one. I don't think I'm going to try it, but this is like a 2-story rail that wraps around the building. There's tons of rails that go from the boardwalk right down to the beach. Then we got New Brunswick. And then a couple high schools have a lot of good ledges. And there's lots of places so in New Jersey. Yeah.
That's right. So you definitely recommend that spot to someone passing through?
Anywhere down the shore or New Brunswick or the Piscataway Vortex. Those are the 3 spots I hit. For sure. You'll have to send me a couple shots of that and I'll post it up. They used to have an app back in the day. Or it wasn't an app. This was before apps. And it was like a website that you could go to with all that we had started doing in South Bay. And you could post a picture of the rail and then you type in the address. And then people could just look up like skate spots, best rails and shit. I think I remember that.
I don't remember what it was called, but we used to use that all the time.
Yeah, I think then the cops started using it to fucking find all the skaters. I think that's what happened with that.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Damn. Gotta holler at Garrett Brooks and tell him to make an app. That shit would be sick. So tell me more about the soap life out there. Drinking, chilling, grinding shit.
Yep.
What's that like?
Fucking awesome. Freedom. Just fucking drink, hang out with my friends, and slide around on a bunch of shit. Freedom. Bust my ass 2 times, get up, laugh about it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, you take your mind off a lot of stuff. You're just focusing on sliding around, sliding on the rail, or like, you know? I don't know, like, yeah, I guess freedom's a good word. It clears your head. Damn.
I feel that. How about the battle between you and Greg? Getting the most shit.
Yeah, maybe that's top awesome. Yes, this one. Well, I got a 1-up so far. I got their broadside.
Oh, what?
You might got the duck, but I got broadside.
Oh. So, how did you acquire these?
It was a 3-day auction on eBay. I said not a word to anybody, and then I put in a bid with 10 seconds left. I got them, shipping included, $196.
Wow. The last pair I saw in there was $1,200. So.
I got it for a tenth of that.
Wow. That's amazing. What size is that?
Huh?
Wait, what size is that?
What size is it? 12.
Oh shit.
Well, it was fit, Greg.
Have you been busting out on those?
No, so I still got to take them in the fucking the cobbler, because they're like starting to separate. Like one of them started separating a little gas. I don't even see that. Like it's starting to separate there.
I noticed it a lot on the last 3 pairs that I got, and I will take them down to the shoe doctor, and I pay like $20, and I give the guy like $5 tip or whatever, and the glue he uses it brings them back to normal. It's kind of weird because it's so fucking hot out here. Like it's like 115 degrees, and it melts the glue walking around. And I have a new pair of Maxwell plates, and it literally like underneath is like a tread, and it was so hot that the tread melted off, and it was like, you know, I start hearing this squeaking sound. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my soaps? And then I seen the tread. It was like 20 feet behind me, and I had to like re-glue it back on. It's been so fucking hot out here. I tried to do a photo shoot, taking some pictures, and my phone starts acting all fucked up. I'm like, what is this? And it says like, your iPhone must cool down before you can use it again or something. And it had a little thermometer on there. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I had that happen before too. It overheated.
I've never even seen that shit before.
That happens out here too. We had, they had like a fucking 100 degrees, I think. Yeah. With 98% humidity. Fucking disgusting out here.
I heard it, yeah. I lived in Washington, D.C. for a while. So I don't know how close that is to Jersey. I know.
4 hours drive. Yeah. 4 hours left.
I remember like in July over there was like the same thing. It was like 115, but it was all humid. And, ugh. That shit was crazy, bro. Walking around, like you get out of the shower and then you're still wet.
Yep.
That's a trip.
I got like when I try to get out of the shower to go, like I'll tell myself off, I gotta walk in front of the air conditioner to dry off. What if I can sit there soaking wet?
So you said you have like a crew of like 8 out there now, and then there's a couple girls that are soaping too.
Yep.
So tell me about this. That's pretty interesting.
All right, well, I bought the pair last summer, and I wanted to make a video, so I was like, Brandon, I need somebody to record me. I know you're probably not into this. Like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do it. And then I just started wearing them out, and everybody's like, are those fucking soap shoes? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, where do I get a pair? I'm like, look on eBay, like, That's where I found these.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got him a pair, and then like 3 of our buddies. They're not here right now, but I got them. Dude, they're actually at FedEx right now. I went to go pick them up, and they were out of power, so they couldn't look up the tracking information. So I went back from home and picked up the fucking shoes. And then my girlfriend now asked me what I was doing one day. I was like, oh, I'm soaping with Brandon. And she's like, oh, I remember soap too. I was like, oh, you want me to get you pairs? And then the girl's got like little feet. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm like, all right, her pair's in that order too. I got his girlfriend's doing it now. She's practiced a couple times. Yeah, she's sitting over there. Sitting right over there, but she doesn't want to be on the video.
For sure.
I don't know. Just say hi from over there or something. No, I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good.
No worries. So, well, a question for her since she's in here, or maybe you guys can answer this. Some girls have asked me before, and they'll say like the only time that or the only kind of soap they really have is those baby blue ones, and then but I guess girls and guys' sizes they differ. Now, if a girl wants to buy a pair of soap shoes, does she have to go by guy's size or girl size? How does that work with those?
Yeah. What's your size in girl size? She wears a 9 in girls, but it's a 7 in guys. You have to, if you order it off like the Rock or something like that, you got to order it by guy's size. It's just like too smaller, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you can find a conversion online pretty easily. I don't remember exactly what it is.
Okay, but they all come in guy size, even those baby blue ones.
Yeah, but there's like I think this box has 7. Yeah, these are her shoes. They're men's 7.
Oh, you got like are those the Sands? I think they're called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are Sands.
Wait, which box is that?
The broadside box.
Oh shit, who's on that, Joey?
The full-on technical filter.
Uh-oh.
It says it on there somewhere. Got a conversion chart on the back, like U.S. men 7 is like 8.5 or 9 in women. So they have a conversion on the box.
Very sweet.
Box. The broadside box.
The girls back at the trade show that we used to do, they used to love grinding.
Yeah, she likes it. She won't admit it, but she likes it.
But it's just fun.
Taking those right now. Gotta hold her hand like the first couple times, and then she steps up and hits it a couple times herself. I haven't pictured her doing it by herself.
Mm-hmm. That's the best part, I thought.
How many good spots are in Vegas?
Oh, everywhere, dude. Everywhere. There's so much, because you have to be indoors out here, to get the AC. And for me, I like soaping indoors anyway, because those are those rails that you can't hit on your skateboard or your skates. So, I'll be down at the Fashion Show Mall, inside the Mandalay Bay, inside Caesar's Palace at the Forum Shop. There's a what do you call that? A fountain, giant fountain and shit. But it's marble, and well, that shit is sick. There's some pretty dope rails in there, some good jumps.
How far are you from the stretch?
I am about 1.5 miles.
Alright, so when I go out there, I'll be out there August 13th. We'll meet up, we'll soap up, and then pictures.
Let's do it. I'm down.
So am I. Let's go.
You're flying out here?
Yep. I'll be out there the 13th through 17th.
What are you doing out here?
I got a pool tournament.
Oh, you shoot pool?
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh. It's gonna be on like Donkey Kong. Oh, shit. Yeah, that sounds good, man. Yeah, there's a lot of good spots. A lot of even in between all the casinos, they have all these construction routes, and then there's quadruple kinks and shit up on there's this one that's behind the Paris, and you have to go down this little street that you can't drive down. You have to get out and walk, but then it opens up, and there's it's 4 or 5 kinks, and it's I don't know, 50, 60 stairs, and there's all these there's a lot of hidden gems everywhere. Or like right when you walk into Bally's Casino, that's been, I think, one of the biggest issues because
Bally's has that nice long route walking into town.
Say it again.
Bally's has that nice long route walking into town.
Oh, they tore that whole thing out. It's a strip mall now outside. That whole shit is gone. But they put another handrail down on the side of Bally's off of Flamingo, and it's pretty tight. But then in front of Bally's they made like an outside little mall, and they sell those new things. Have you guys seen those gliders?
Yeah.
That shit's badass. But they're like $1,800. I was like tripping on that. But those are getting really popular. That shit's pretty tight. What else? Yeah, there's not so much of a scene. I found a rollerblader group, but none of them soap. So anytime I want to film something, I have to set it up on a tripod, and that's kind of retarded. 'Cause it needs to move. It needs to have movement with it. But there's all these cool rails in the casino, but I tried to do it a couple times, setting up a tripod, and they're like, one, you can't film, and like, what are you doing? Security gets called on me like that. So I haven't been able to hit a lot of that stuff.
I'll be out there. We'll soap. We'll hit some shit up, send them videos. What's up?
We're gonna do it. I'm down. I'm gonna mark it on my calendar.
I'll be out there the 13th through the 17th.
Oh shit. We'll go stickering too.
I'll bring them with me. He's got like 100, so.
That's fucking tight. If the guys at home wanted to contact you, how could they reach you?
I guess Facebook would be the easiest way.
Facebook?
Yeah. Facebook.com/Jersey himself. Because
Okay.
I'm pretty full of myself.
I'll put that link right here below. How about you guys?
Facebook. Facebook. I don't even know what my thing is, to be honest. I got no idea what mine is.
We're on his Facebook, so if you find him, you'll find us.
Okay.
I'll send you the Facebook name.
All right. So there's those links right there. You guys listening at home, also you can leave your comments in the box below. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We will see you guys next month. Soap it up, baby.
There you go.